Hello, welcome everyone. You are live with
What's
me, Sousa,
oh you're
and
that's from you.
Yang, the deep.
Hey, welcome friends. I could hear my own voice welcoming you from yesterday, but I'm going to welcome you for today. You are live with Amy Sousa and Kay Yang, and we are getting ready for events in Chicago. So I'm in touch right now with the Chicago ground team. They are just setting up, but we, as always, are going to start with a lovely promo that the amazing Kay Yang has made. And hello, everyone who is in the chat already. Kay Yang, are you ready to go with that promo? All right, here we go. And you're muted, just so you know.
This is Kay Yang, and you're watching the Let Women Speak Speakers Corner USA Tour featuring Kelly J. Keane of Standing for Women UK.
If you would like to assist us in making this documentary, which is not about a few people sat down having long interviews, it's about real women doing things to try and stop the erasure of their rights and the mutilation of children's bodies. It's about the ordinary women that became activists through this, there's lots of stories to tell, and I'm happy for all of them to be told, but the story that we're going to tell here in our documentary is the story of ordinary women doing extraordinary things when they were pushed to extraordinary depths with this.
I want to thank all of the women who have been organizing. Obviously, I have a big thank you to Kelly J. Keane. This is for her documentary that she is doing across the United States. These are all of the dates that are coming. If you can make it to one of these cities, please do your best to get there. This is an opportunity for all U.S. women to share their voices. This is a chance for us to really revitalize and give a strong foundation to the activism that we have already been doing.
If you're in the USA, it is really easy to give towards this documentary to make your American women's voices heard, as well as those in the UK and in Europe. This little bit of history and uprising belongs to the brave women and girls who were standing up against this absolute tyranny.
This is about safety for women and girls. This is about defending children, and this is about future generations. We know that this is all leading towards transhumanism. This is leading towards a world of tighter top-down control and control of women in our reproductive systems and our biology. And we will continue to speak out against it. We will continue to name these things, and we will continue organizing across all of our political differences for our goals. For more videos from me, subscribe to my channel, The Deprogrammer on YouTube, and subscribe here to the Known Heretic channel to join the watch party as we live stream every stop on Kelly J's tour. We'll be linking up with women on the ground in every city to bring you live interviews with your favorite fearless female warriors and highlight the voices of women across the country who are standing up against the destruction of female sex-based rights in the name of gender identity laws and ideology. Join the live chat and connect with other women. We'll take your calls and platform your voice live on the show.
This is Speaker's Corner. This is a tradition in the UK. Unlike here, we don't have a right to free speech. and you're losing yours here in this country through hate speech laws which are coming. So what we've decided to do, because women face an existential crisis and the bodies of our children through the threat of transgender ideology, we thought we'd come to the very heart of where it's being sold to Americans. Through your schools, your children are being gaslit, coerced and manipulated. Through your doctors, through your very, very well-funded pharmaceutical industries. And so this is how we run it. You come and say what you want, because you're finding in your places of work, you can no longer say that you don't want men in your spaces. You have to pretend that women have penises. You have to pretend that it's brave and stunning for girls in this country age 12 to have double mastectomies. So, if you want to speak, you come and speak. Speak really nice and loudly into this microphone so everybody can hear you. If not you, then who? If not now, then when?
All right, and here we go. We have Jeanette getting ready on the ground. How's it looking out there, Jeanette?
Yes. Okay. How's your sound? Can you hear me?
Yeah, your sound is good.
Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you using your lavalier mic.
I got the.
You're a good lady.
I have this mic here.
You're a good
Is that
lady.
What's picking it up? Is that what's picking it up? Is it picking up like this?
It doesn't actually. Weirdly, it doesn't seem to be.
So yeah, we're in Chicago. I'm just going to take you on a. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, before you were in my ear, and now you're not. I'm gonna have to turn you up. Okay, where'd you go? Hold on, I lost you.
Amy, can you make Jeanette big?
I can. Well, I can make her. Let's see. Yeah.
Where'd I go?
I'm
back now.
Oh wait. Wait.
Okay, here we go. No, now it should work.
Can you make me taller?
I want to.
We're trying.
I really want to.
Try teething.
So I'm pretty excited today. We're here. This is a beautiful city, let's be honest. Okay, but it is kind of nice that it happens to be that the Chicago mounted police have shown up.
Love it. Love it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the hair compliment. Yeah, so the mounted police are here. They're, having their photos taken with children and all kinds of things. One of the, if you can't see, one of the horses is painted to look like a giraffe, which is so cool. But unlike some men, that costume is actually going to come off after Halloween, and then it's going to be a regular horse instead of a horse dressed up like a giraffe, which is probably what men should do when they can take off the costume that they call womanhood. They should just take it off after Halloween.
That would be great.
Just an idea. Just throwing things out there.
Great. It would be great if they actually just never even wore that costume ever.
I wish I had my ear pods so I could hear you better.
I know. You could have brought your earpods too.
Somebody's.
But it's okay.
I feel like we had such a lovely relationship yesterday.
We did. It was the best.
Yeah.
But I know it's loud out
we
there.
We can power through this. It is. Is it? Do you think it's loud?
Well, I know it's hard for you to hear.
I like how everybody gets frozen.
Yeah, I think it's hard for you to hear because you have background noises. We can hear just fine.
You can hear just fine.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
So great. I want to go ahead and introduce you, Jeanette, for our viewers that aren't familiar with you and your work. You can go if you need to talk to me.
Do you want to join my live stream here?
Yes.
Hi. Here's Brett. We have Anna. It's kind of a party over here. It's kind of a fun time. We actually have quite a critical mass happening right now.
Thanks for being there. Oh. Okay. So I I can go ahead and introduce Jeanette right now, but we might wait until see if she's coming back in. No,
I was gonna
Jeanette
go. I was
is
gonna put up.
Sure.
I was
Amy's
gonna put up
putting
the
up the Partners for Ethical Care website. Jeanette Cooper is a mother of a daughter whom the court has prohibited her from visiting, and this is due to a claim that her daughter is transgender and felt unsafe with her. Jeanette is involved with International Partners for Ethical Care. They are a nonprofit operated entirely by volunteers. I am a volunteer with PEC. Their mission is raising awareness and supporting efforts to stop unethical treatment of children by schools, hospitals, mental and medical healthcare providers under the duplicitous banner of gender identity affirmation. Jeanette, can you hear us? We're having trouble hearing you. We don't hear you, Jeanette.
Jeanette, we've lost sound. We can't hear you.
Okay, so she can hear us. While Jeanette is trying to figure out her sound situation, we do have a special guest waiting in the wings. I see that she is here, and she is a very busy woman, so we are really lucky to have her with us today. I'm going to go ahead and introduce her and then bring her on with us. You probably know this woman. Her name is Jessica Gonzalez. Jessica describes herself as an ordinary working class woman and the founder of the TERF Collective.
Plug it back in.
Oh, there we go.
So now you should be able to hear me off of my regular phone. And now I'm going to plug that back in, and hopefully you'll be able to hear me off of my lapel mic.
Yes, and Jeanette,
Is that what you're hearing? Are you hearing me off of my lapel mic? Yes, you can hear me. I just can't hear you.
I'm that low.
And that's the type of relationship that actually works best for me. Yeah. That's why most of my relationships don't work out.
I saw that.
There's so many women here. This is so exciting. Kelly J just arrived. We're probably getting close to starting. We have this lovely overview of the river. Let's see if I can position you on the speaker.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Jeanette, if you can hear me.
Okay, so you're saying you can absolutely hear me on this lapel mic. Yes, everybody is nodding and smiling. I like nodding and smiling, ladies. If we could do more nodding and smiling, the whole world would be a better place for men. So I'm glad that you can hear me, though. This is a lovely spot. I see about 20 police officers hanging out right here, which is kind of nice. There are 3 police cars with lights on them. I see my plainclothes police officers coming toward me, which is lovely. And we have a good group of, I would say, about 20 plus women here getting ready, and we'll get started in just a minute. So I'll just let you watch the background. I'll turn around so maybe you can get a full view of me, because that's why most people are on this live stream, I assume. That and listening to my insecurities.
Jeanette,
Be right back.
I don't know if you can hear us, but I'm muting you.
Okay, yeah. Let's mute her for a minute. She's hilarious. Okay.
I don't think she can hear us.
She can't, because she so we practiced this yesterday. Yesterday she had headphones, so she had her headphones mic on. My guest's mic isn't connected. She unconnected her mic. P.S.
Who? Jeanette?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that. Jeanette came onto the stream right at the moment I was trying to introduce our special guest, our dear friend and our colleague Jessica Gonzalez.
Yay,
she describes herself as an ordinary working class woman. She is the founder of the TERF Collective. They are an organization pursuing guerrilla approaches to fighting trans ideology. I'm sure you've heard of them. If you haven't, you need to know who they are. You need to know who Jessica Gonzalez is. TERF Collective hosts semi-weekly chat sessions with gender-critical women and radical feminists from all over the world, and these are called TERF Nights. They're pretty fun. I've been to a few of them. There, she joins together decades-long activists and those who are newly peaked in wide-ranging conversations. They discuss the impact of gender ideology. They talk about protests and actions tactics, strategy, and participants are all invited to imagine a future free of the impositions and requirements of the patriarchy. And with that said, it is my pleasure to introduce to you my dear friend Jessica Gonzalez. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. So before anything else, I really want to thank you both. Is my audio okay?
You sound great.
Great, great, because I was having problems at last turf night. So I really want to thank you both for your persistent and tireless efforts in holding down these live streams. I know it can't be easy. I know how much work you both are putting into this. So I don't like to speak to the movement, but I will right now. On behalf of the movement, thank you, thank you, thank you. A million thank yous for holding it down and making sure that all the women in our movement here in the States and around the world feel included and have a hub they can check in with and follow along this tour with. That is a massive service that you're providing to our community. And I thank you both so much for what you're doing. And thank you so much for having me today.
Well, thank you, Jessica. And it wouldn't be as dynamic without you and women like you and other guests that have jumped in to be part of this and bring their voices and make this, feel like more of a community thing. This isn't just about one person or one event. This is about showcasing all of the women all around the US who are working hard and showing that we can cooperate. We know it's hard. It's not easy, but we're doing it. We're doing the work to get through this, and not just this tour, but to keep moving forward towards our goals. So thank you so much, Jessica.
Yeah, thank you, Jessica. And you
shout out to all the sisters in the chat real quick. So sorry, Amy, to step on you. But shout out to all my sisters in the chat that greeted me. Really nice to be among you all, as always, on all these streams that we visit and watch together. Love you all. Sorry, Amy, go ahead.
No, I was just going to give you my permission. You have absolutely my permission to speak on behalf of the trips. Oh, we have I think Jeanette has left her camera unattended, and we have a TRA looking into it. It looks like. How fun.
I do see they are in the background. It might be somebody with the tripod behind the camera that we can't see.
I hope so. It looks like we are getting ready. Everything's setting up. They brought their noise makers. Of course they did, because that is their number one tactic, is to silence. That's why I really like to call these people anti-free speech zealots. They are absolutely against free speech. Oh, good. She's come back. Okay. That was nice. Don't walk away from your equipment, friend.
She's so great.
Okay, we've got some audio assault happening already.
Oh man, I wish I could give her some earplugs. I have an industrial tub of earplugs we are going to be deploying in Philly. Yes.
I was about to buy some, so we got a link.
I got you covered.
I was going to ask you. I thought you might have access to them.
I'm going to have the in-ear ones and the over-ear 33 decibel Johns. I cannot recommend it enough, sisters. If you're going to be out in the street, definitely at least it's the real tiny ones that go in the ear at the very least. If you can pack additional outside ear protection, that's great. But definitely, this is an obvious tactic that they've been using against us for months and months now. So we should be able to not be out there caught unawares. We have noticed they are going to literally try to drown us out. So this way you can think. And they don't take over your mental space, which is.
And I want to mention to women that I know that for Jessica is one of our co-organizers for Philly and New York, and we are also coming up with tactics to respond to their noise. So there are ways that we can tell a visual story, despite the fact that they are using sound to drown us out. Sound is not the only way to tell a story. So we can still go go and have free speech just by attending. We can use our banners and our signs and theater and other means to get our message across. So whatever they do to us, however much noise they bring against us, they cannot stop us from publicly exercising our right to tell a story. And just being here and witnessing what they do to us is telling a story. They are telling a story on themselves, and we are telling a story of peaceful assembling.
Yes. And these people lie. They are lying about the idea that human beings can change sex. That's not true. Everything they do is a lie and an inversion. They are duplicitous. Right now, they are lying. There's a sign behind Jeanette's head that says "Perfs Mace Kids." That is a lie. This is a reference to what happened in Tacoma the other day when our sister Gina Hoach had to defend herself against 3 large, violent trans activists, misogynists. Yes, one was a female who identifies as a man. And I think it's interesting that the way that this woman thinks of being a man is to assault another woman. That's what it means for her to be a man. I have the footage open on my computer right now. I have it from multiple angles. I've got like 20 different angles of it. They're all slowed down in Final Cut, frame by frame. These people are liars. Gina was spit on and aggressed upon first before defending herself. She is a 115-pound woman that is 5'3", surrounded by 3 huge men, 3 men and 1 woman, all concealing their identities. So self-defense is a woman's right. And they are lying. So I just wanted to put that out there. This is a lie. Jessica, if you could you describe a little bit about the audio assault and the sonic weapons that were used against us in Madison, Wisconsin at the Speaker's Corner, where you, Jessica Gonzalez, and Jeanette Cooper were both speakers, along with Lear Keith, Thistle Pedersen, and who else was a speaker? Was it just the 4 of you, right? At the Madison Library?
We had Lear Keith as well, was one of the speakers.
Yeah, I named Lear.
Oh, sorry.
Jessica, could you go ahead and tell us a little bit about what it was like experiencing that sonic warfare at the Madison Capitol?
So Madison was worse than anything that I could have imagined up until that time, because we, of course, had the counter protesters that came to meet us and everything they could bring, of course. So they brought air horns. They had their bull horns with the sirens on. They were completely drowning us out on foot. But then also, oddly enough, there was a truck that pulled up next to where we were situated to do our demonstration, which we were permitted for. Mm-hmm. And this truck had speakers mounted on top of it, and it just played this odd, strange sound on loop for hours on end. And it was really weird to me because in any other city I've been in, that would have been stopped by the police. The police would have gone over. There would have been like sound ordinances that go into play. I mean, even the fact that the truck was allowed to be double parked there for hours on that busy road was so strange. But it was really jarring. It was really jarring. And to be there bombarded by that much sound for as many hours as we were. So I'm really proud of us for holding our ground the way we did and proceeding with our demonstration. But things have escalated, and we need to go out there prepared for what they're bringing next. And right now, what they're bringing is sound. As you saw right there in the imagery, I mean, they're bringing pots and pans out. So, I mean, they are going to be bringing everything they can to drown us out because they don't want regular people to hear our message. Like, that is their biggest fear, is that ordinary people walking by might hear what we have to say and realize, oh, shit, they're right. That's their biggest nightmare. So that's what's going on right now. In Philly, it was quite similar. It was quite similar. They brought drums They brought their air horns. They brought their bullhorns and blared sirens. They even brought a drag-along speaker, kind of a substantial size speaker. And they just set that down and turned it on because, again, hearing our message is the worst thing that could happen.
Right.
For the general public to hear what we have to say, game over. Game over. So we have to find ways to protect ourselves, protect our sanity. I consider that an assault. I consider all that sound an assault. I mean, it literally could damage you. It could literally damage your hearing. So I take that very seriously. That's part of our safety and security we have to take into account now when we hit the street. In addition to, of course, now making sure that you are protected from any spit. I mean, they're willing to spit on women for speaking. Do they ever go out and actually try to attack and assault men that might be attacking other men that consider themselves trans-identifying in this way? Do they ever actually stand up to people that are actually violent against trans-identifying people in this way? No, they never would.
No.
Because we're
They don't
easy
care
to
about that.
women. Because we're women on the street, standing up, trying to get a message out, and we're easy to target. We're easy prey for them. That's why they come after us.
I want to see if what we're hearing for just 1 second, if we're hearing anything, but we can't. Okay. I want to hear if we can hear Kelly J.
Doesn't seem like Kelly J.
We're gonna try and stay locked
Oh my God.
And as you can see, some of these people showing up to protest look like they could be grandmothers.
Yeah.
Something else about this audio assault is not only does it hurt your ears, it distracts you from what you're trying to say. It infiltrates your mind and causes chaos and confusion. It induces migraines. The frequencies from the sound can also induce just a general feeling of dis-ease, sickness to the stomach, anxiety. And I want to get your reaction, Jessica, to some of the violence that happened in Tacoma the other day. In addition to Gina being attacked, we also, and the attack on Lear Keith, of course, that Amy heroically rushed in and stopped from occurring. April Morrow from Sovereign Women Speak. Now, you and I were both at the first Sovereign Women Speak in Tacoma with April. She's the founder of Sovereign Women Speak. Her hand was broken by a TRA who threw her to the ground and broke her journaling equipment. I'd just like your reaction to some of the violence that our sisters endured.
I mean, my reaction is that it's hard to believe, but at the same time, in some of these, it seems like in some places, maybe in most, a lot of these trans supremacist activists, like I like to call them, have carte blanche to really do whatever they want to women. And it seems like, in a lot of these places, the police isn't there now. I will say, at the last Speaker's Corner event that we held in Philadelphia, we were lucky enough that the federal law enforcement that was on the ground there did step in. Sorry about this lighting. That's why I'm so dark, because I'm backlit. So I had to turn around. I hope everybody can see me. But we were very, very lucky to demonstrate in a location that just happened to be federal territory. And federal agents won't leave their territory unprotected. And that's why we were afforded some nominal protection from being transgressed upon too heavily by the trans supremacists. But really, I can't say I'm very surprised in some of these cities how the women just are out there all on their own. I mean, I think it's crazy, but it just seems like this is the new normal for them. Demonstrate at your own risk. I find it unacceptable, but that's something I don't know how we will overcome that in those cities where they have just left people to their own devices.
Yeah, and I think with this particular tour of speakers corners in these and cities across the U.S., the dates were announced ahead of time, the cities were announced ahead of time, and so they've had time to organize themselves and
That's
get to
exactly right.
us.
That's exactly
So,
right.
in moving forward, we're not going to be able to afford security for every time we want to go out on the street to protest. Technically, we can't even afford what we're doing right now. And I do want to remind people to please, if you can, donate to the fundraiser. Amy has set up a Give, Send, Go so that we can get equipment and work on getting security for the New York City event. As you know, there are a lot of crazed trans rights activists in New York City. That's where I used to be. So I know very well how organized they are there. So we are trying to raise money for security. But again, we can't have security every time we want to step out on the street and talk about women's rights. So we are going to have to strategize moving forward. Maybe pop-up events is the way to go so that they do not have time to mobilize and organize themselves to get to us, and that we actually have an opportunity to speak to the public. Should we check in with them, Amy?
Yeah, I just wanted to leave that on in the background, just in case they start speaking. But I think all we hear is really yelling. I did send Jennifer Thomas a link. I don't know if she'll join us as well and maybe have more footage, but it seems like they are really being crowded in on. This is just incredible. And I wonder how really Kelly J. Keene is going to grapple with this. I don't think she's seen this sort of thing. This is what they're experiencing right now. This is exactly what we experienced in Port Townsend. We were absolutely they charged in on us and forced us into a tight group. So this is a tactic that we have been seeing. And it's just incredible to me that this is how they can treat women in broad daylight. And this is really one of the reasons why this language issue is very important, because they use these words to dehumanize us. They use the tactic of dehumanizing language is so that you can treat a human being like a thing, like a vermin, like something other than. So they use these words against us and attempt to dehumanize us so that it becomes obscured that they are doing violence to women in public. This is exactly what we see here. This is violence to women in public, pushing women into a tight group, coming in on them, even coming into their personal space. This is assaultive behavior. This is an attack. And this is exactly what we are seeing right now.
And in this country, we are no stranger to having to the use of slurs and words that have been created to be applied to certain groups of people to dehumanize them, so that we can not us ourselves, but in the past we've seen the justification for abusing people, for stealing their land, for raping, enslaving, all through the use of this dehumanizing language. So this isn't something new for our country, but it is new that now these people that claim to be against all of these things are the ones who are doing it to women, to vulnerable women and girls, at the same time that we are losing our rights systematically in language, in law, in America, internationally and around the world. And at the same time that violence against women is skyrocketing in every corner of the world.
All right, well, I'm going to turn her up for a second.
We can speak in public without this. So it is a bit laughable that we're in the land of the free and you can't speak and be heard. And I don't blame the officers, obviously they're just upholding their bit of the law. But it does seem peculiar that there is a right to something that you can't actually access. Do you want to speak on camera? Do you want to come speak on camera? Well, I've been live streaming the whole time since I got here. But you just have to hold it like this and I think you'll be heard. Just don't lose it. And just press the button. No, press the button, just hold it. Hold it. I'm going to see if you can be seen. Hello, Chicago. Well, this is my hometown, and there is some resistance here. We're in front of the Wrigley Building. It's a great spot. Many people are walking by and enjoying what we have to say, which is stay away from our children. The moms of Chicago are standing up. We will not let you have our children. We will not let you mutilate our children. We won't let you put drugs in their system, wrong sex hormones. Okay. We won't allow that. There's moms all over the Chicagoland area are getting together to stop this. There's a group in Downers Grove where they wanted to have drag queen bingo, and they all got together and shut it down. And that's what's going to keep happening, because nobody's going to give you our kids. We're not going to let you destroy our kids' future. So that is Chicago. If you have your kid in Chicago public schools, know that they are being taught gender ideology. They are forced to use wrong-sex pronouns against what their eyes tell them. They are forced to use girls plus and boys plus bathrooms. So girls do not have a choice with boys coming into their bathrooms. Women and girls deserve the right to say no. And that is what we're saying here today. This is a record of our dissent. And Chicago is a poppin' city, and the people are with us. The people of Chicago are with us. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That was Jennifer Thomas, everyone.
We're going to keep doing this like this. And I'm just going to have a look and see if you can hear me. So if you can hear me, can you say yes on the live stream? Because transgender ideology is misogyny in bad hills. Right. I'm really pleased that the trans activists have come to show everybody just exactly how they behave. And why it's important that it's not just letting them pay, but it's letting them silence women, it's letting them mutilate the bodies of children, and it's letting them take over every single woman's space for... not you again.
my God. I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit. If she gives the mic to someone else, I think that we can. If she gives the mic to someone else, we'll put that louder. But I don't think we all need to have our ears blasted out with this.
Mm-hmm.
This is absolutely
This young woman in front of me
okay.
decided she's so angry about women older than her actually having a voice. She's properly deranged. I've got toddlers. Officer, I think it's me. Okay, right, I'm gonna let some of you in. We're talking up in Chicago. Come and talk. Wanna come and talk?
Amy, can you mute them or put it down? We can't listen to that.
Women, sisters, this is sisterhood. You are my sisters, and I am your sister. This is sisterhood. You are my sisters, and I am your sister. Next up, we have Brett. Brett Smith. I'm passing the mic. To Brett. Do I need to hold this up? Sure. Maybe that's going to the mic. That's going to be. To be honest, we're probably still more than a year old. So we're still doing it. Absolutely. Am I good? Am I good?
I can't.
Hi, my name is Brett Smith. On Twitter, I go by Exhausted Witch. I'm here to tell you about how gender ideology is an absolute sham. These are people who don't care about you. They don't care about your children. Recently, I posted about my 16-year-old daughter desisting from thinking she was trans. Their response, instead of celebrating that another kid doesn't suffer what they claim is just a thing to suffer, they doxed me, sent me bomb threats, sent GPS to my home to try to take my 16-year-old daughter away from me. All because my daughter didn't want to pretend to be a boy, and because I didn't want to let her. I'm here to show my face because I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of my message and where I stand. I'm not ashamed that I'm not afraid of them. But they're ashamed. They're wearing masks. They're hiding their identity. Can you imagine? They've got signs saying first safe space. They sterilize kids. Trans life is about sterilizing children. Sending bomb threats to children they claim they want to protect while putting her at risk. Today is my youngest daughter's second birthday, and I'm here. My gift to my daughter is to be here to talk to you to make sure that no parent has to fear that their daughters and their sons are going to be indoctrinated into a crowd that's no safe. It's very loud. It's so loud. This way. Look at me, step back this way. That's right. We're gonna keep going backwards. Come backwards. Can we step backwards? Yeah. Yeah, we step backwards. Should we go a bit more? A bit more, please. A bit more. Are we joining hands? Can you move? Is she pushing you? Could you step back, love? you move back? Could you move back a little bit? Could you make it a bit safer for everyone and move back? Could you make it safe for everyone and stand back? Well, I mean, this will do. They want to stay there. You right? Okay, so we tried to move back. The idea is that we have a little bit more of a line, a bit more of an obvious division. Goodness me. It is, how are you finding it? I think this is lovely. I see a lot of beautiful faces in front of me. Thank you. I'm getting pushed by a very small dick in my back. Thank you. Kind of awkward. Yeah. I want to thank all the trans activists for coming out and proving our point. Thank you so much, each and every one of you crazy little budding misogynists. Thank you so much to the young women coming. I don't either, yeah. Let women speak! Let women speak! Let women speak! No. Let women speak! 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 Do you want to say it? Let women speak! Can you hold? Can you hold the two like that? Yeah. Is that all right? They are so afraid of women speaking that they come out en masse to stop us because they know the more people hear it, the more likely they are to understand what's going on in their schools, to understand that there's women in this country being raped in prison. And when they know, they will say no. Because at the moment, what this cult is relying upon is a lack of consent and concern because nobody knows what's going on. Right. Okay, you come and speak. Right. Really nice and loud and clear into this. So I want that for my live stream. So hold the two together like this. Nice and close. Got it. Can you, sorry, let me just, that's my life. If you're here for women, can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah! Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! Let women speak! 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 All right, so shut up, stop. I'm here today as a canceled woman with nothing to lose. I got canceled in Madison for saying the F word about trans people. Oh no. I said what I said because I am a school counselor by trade and I care about the safety, dignity, and well-being, physical and mental well-being of children. The noise you hear right now is coming from people who want literal children to be able to get mutilating surgeries, to get sterilized, to get disfigured for life in the name of Big Pharma. These people say protect trans kids, and that's exactly what they mean. They want an entire generation of children to be erased by trans medicine, by people who stand to make billions of dollars off of their bodies. Women say no. We absolutely will not stand for the proliferation of transgender ideology in schools, in law, or in society. Absolutely not. Women and girls are female. Women and girls have XX chromosomes. That's it, baby. That's it. All these people have are fucking tambourines. All these people have are their mommy's little pots and pans. They don't have science on their side. They don't have psychology on their side. They don't have common sense on their side. They want you to believe a lie. They want you to lie to your children. Women say no. We will not abide our children being allowed to live double lives at school. We will not abide the state raising our children to believe they were born in the wrong body. Women say no. Say no. Thank you so much. You're right. Alexia, do you want to speak? I would, yes. Really nice and close. Really nice and close. I have a paper. I have to get it out real quick. The people misdirection can hear you much better than what you can hear yourself. I got you. Can you hold that nice and close like this? The both of them? Yep.
Well, that was Melissa Darling. She's a Milwaukee school teacher. She was with us in Madison, Wisconsin, and she became under investigation after she spoke at the Speaker's Corner.
Alrighty. First, I want to thank Kelly J. Keene for relentlessly speaking up about how gender identity ideology affects the rights and well-being of women and girls, gay and lesbian people, and children. Your speeches and debates were some of the first content to help me put my misgivings about gender identity ideology into words. I also want to thank the rest of the women here for joining us today. It is not easy to be here. For every one of us standing here today, there are countless women who will watch online, cheering us on and finding their own inspiration. That was me 2 years ago. I was in awe of the bravery of the women who showed up at Speaker's Corners, the Seattle Public Library, and Pride marches to state that women are adult human females, homosexuality exists, and no child is born in the wrong body. Here I am today, despite the fact that I considered myself to be too non-confrontational, too shy, and far too afraid to risk being doxxed or physically threatened by those who want feminism and gay rights to surrender to men's sexual demands and to repackage homophobia. I hope that I can inspire others the way Kelly J. and all the brave women who came before have inspired me. Some of you have been standing on this hill for years, even for decades, and for that, I cannot thank you enough. Like many young people with a liberal arts college background, my friend group and peers and I are almost entirely left-leaning and progressive. We support universal health care, environmental protections, gay rights, unrestricted abortion access, and social programs for vulnerable groups. This is my political background. It is the one thing trans activists are most afraid that you will learn about me. I am not part of some right-wing religious backlash to civil rights. There is nothing hateful or conservative about standing up for women and gay people. There is nothing radical about opposing the sterilization of adolescents. And there is nothing bigoted about insisting upon using accurate sex-based language. If you stand against us, know that you are standing against lifelong women's rights campaigners, women who have been fighting for abortion access, domestic violence shelters, and justice for sexual assault survivors for longer than most of us, or many of us, have been alive. You are standing against gay and lesbian people who want the right to form communities without sexual coercion and pressure to date members of the opposite sex. And you are standing against those who regret taking hormones and irreversible surgeries and are now seeking justice for medical treatments that promise them relief but have left them sterilized and chronically ill. This is who we are. They call us trans exclusionary radical feminists or TERFs. Trans activists will tell you that you should not even engage with us in discussion, that our ideas are so hateful and dangerous that we must be silenced from speaking at all, that we must be banned and censored from every single social media platform, and that we should be cut loose from our friend groups and communities. According to them, we are so dangerously bigoted that violence and physical intimidation are reasonable and even justified responses to our speaking events. It is no wonder then that so many people are afraid to publicly voice their dissent to trans ideology. Sentiments such as kill TERFs are not hard to find online. Look up TERFisaslur.com if you do not believe me. Women have been shoved. Women have been shoved, cornered, and pushed to the ground and injured at events just like this one. Knowing all of this, we are standing here today taking these risks. This is because we know what is at stake if we do not speak out against trans ideology. I will not surrender female-only spaces to men and boys, no matter how they identify. I will not stand back while lesbian and gay people are forced to apologize for their same-sex attraction or are bullied into believing that they were born in the wrong bodies. And I will not give up the definition of womanhood to misogynistic bullies. A woman is an adult, human, female. To quote the dearly beloved lesbian and feminist activist Meg Burns, it is not hate to defend your rights, and it is not hate to speak the truth, or to put it even more plainly, I'd rather be rude than a fucking liar. Oh, what a lovely laugh line. Thank you so much. Real close.
Uh-oh. Their transmitter stopped working.
Mm-hmm.
But unless someone has done due diligence on this topic,
So just, I'm going to turn the sound back up in a second, friends. But what is happening is they have a transmitter on site, and that puts the sound directly to the live stream. But that transmitter, I don't know what happened. They had the transmitter before, but now the transmitter isn't working. So we only are hearing the amplified sound. This is why these little things in production are so important. Just so everyone knows, I'm going to turn it back up to see if we can hear anything, but I don't know what happened to the transmitter. She was holding it before. I saw Kelly J take it away. Hopefully she'll give it back, and maybe they're fixing it. So I'm not sure what's happening with the sound. Sorry, ladies.
Can you hear this? Can you hear this?
Yeah, that's better. No.
Okay. Yeah, so Ted Alejandro is reminding us that the governor of Chicago is one of the Pritzkers, and they are the first family of trans. If you don't know about the Pritzkers, you go to the 11thhourblog.com. The work of our sister Jennifer Billick is absolutely foundational to understanding the money and the power that is driving this movement, which is a biopharma medical. That's what this is about. It's a biopharma medical agenda. And I want to just give a shout out to Ted because I know that you follow me on Instagram, and it's awesome to see you here in this space. We have Gay Chapman again. Hi, Gay. She is the owner of After Ellen, which is a bi-lesbian, for lesbian outlet. It's the last stronghold left on the internet. She was one of the speakers and organizers at the first Speaker's Corner on Kelly J. Keen's tour in LA. Our current speaker, who regrettably we cannot hear her on the ground, her name is Beth Lowe. Looks like they're setting up the transmitter. We might be able to. Let's see, Amy, if we can hear her.
Okay.
And its loss of bone density, increased risk of osteoporosis, increased risk of stroke, heart disease, heart attacks, and blood clots. The effects of these drugs are severe and they cannot be understood by children. Children cannot give informed consent. They are children. But why would we want them to consent to all of this? We should be telling our children to love themselves and the one body they're given. It is time we've allowed them to be convinced that they could be born in the wrong body and can fix it with drugs that will wreak havoc on their young bodies and for which they are lining up in drugs. The silver lining for the medical industrial complex is the creation of lifelong patients. While I am thankful every day that neither my daughter nor stepdaughter have been captured by gender ideology, I know other women, other parents and families are not so lucky. Many are afraid to speak the simple truth, which is that no child was born in the wrong body, and I will never stop fighting for that truth. Thank you very much. Thank you. Can I just find trans activists in particular? If you've got a mask on, we really can't hear or read what you're saying. But that's great. Okay, who else would like to speak? I think it's this lady next, and then you, and then there's another lady that said something. Right. Please don't speak.
Okay, here comes Carrie Brass.
And I know it's right near. I know it's annoying, but sorry. There you go. Look, cover my double chin. I'm really close. Okay. Is that good? No. Closer. All right. Everyone, it's good to see you today. It's a beautiful day in downtown Chicago. In addition to being beautiful, Midwestern women are also known for being straightforward and down to earth, which may be why so many of you turned out today for this event. You're standing here today because you know that society has truly taken a wrong turn when women are being harassed, assaulted, shouted down with loud epithets, and meaningless mantras simply for trying to speak their minds in the public square. Your presence here today is a record of your dissent, of you saying no, and I'm grateful for it. About 18 months ago, a friend asked what brought me to this fight, I need a moment to reflect. Because like many of us, I initially did not see the harms of this ideology. Before the backpack wars went into full swing in North Carolina, I agreed that people should be accepted for who they are. You say I can just do this. And that they should be free to use the restroom they felt most comfortable in. I had fallen for the cash-filled propaganda that gender identity was the civil rights movement of our time. But when I saw a social media thread where a highly respected woman, locally as well as internationally known for her lifelong advocacy, was being viciously trashed by progressives for the crime of clearly articulating how that point of view puts women and children at increased risk of harm, I began to question my stance. For the record, that woman was Miriam Ben Shalom, a woman I now consider a friend, and who is here with us today. Not long thereafter, I began to see reports about lesbians being assaulted at and evicted from pride events for being who they are, namely same-sex attracted females who don't include males in their dating pools, no matter what they call themselves. And images on social media of women being hung at the gallows by raging mobs of predominantly white males, and this aberrant behavior is being cheered on by the masses as both warranted and admirable. Obviously, I was wrong. And then I started seeing women being referred to as menstruators, uterus havers, vagina owners, and other grossly dehumanizing terms. It finally dawned on me that they were coming for the word mother too. And that's when I said, oh no, not gonna happen. As a mother of 2 grandsons, the word means a great deal to me. Being a mother is a huge part of who I am, how I define myself. And as the Declaration on Women's Sex-Based Rights says in Article 2, motherhood is an exclusively female status. The damn state every mother is a woman. Men can't have our word for the uniquely female experience of gestating and birthing a child. I started saying no then, and I'm still saying it. Let's say it together. Women say no! Women say no! Women say no! And we must keep on saying no, sisters. Loudly, persistently, and perhaps most importantly, collectively. As Renee Garrick implored us in 2019 at a talk in Brisbane, find your sisters. Our movement isn't at critical mass yet, but we're getting there. If there's ever time to push, it's now. And I quote, in a culture that honored women, cared for children, and grounded in the natural world, the spread of transgender ideology would not occur. Voltaire's famous warning that those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities is also pertinent. It is a dangerous and threatening climate we live in, a climate in which the absurdities of transgenderism are promoted so widely that they cause such serious harm and are taboo to question. Women who speak out now face ostracism and losing their livelihoods at the hands of the very same people who are currently joining mass movements that claim to fight for the planet and social justice. Yet, as Audre Lorde famously said, your silence will not protect you. And the women out there holding their tongues to stay safe, I say we are living in an era of rising authoritarianism, and this ideology is one vehicle for it. You need to find your sisters. Now is the time to speak the truth where you can, in spite of those who will turn on you or refuse to offer you solidarity, and find your sisters. We are here. We are healing and finding our voices together, and we want you among us. Thank you. Stealing. I just want to say, there's a wonderful woman behind me. I'm just going to get her on camera. Who is just standing, the most serene, poised woman, while she's getting screamed at and pushed behind. So this is what we are faced with. Thank you so much. You're just, every time I look at you, you've got that nightmare behind you, and you're just, run. Okay, right, let's have someone else. Yes, you next, and you after. I'm going to put this on you because I keep switching it off or doing something weird to it. Okay, come and stand I just want to briefly tell a little bit of my story. I'm not talking about anything that these wonderful women who have gone before me have already spoken about, but I want to tell it from my perspective. 5 years ago, I was a closeted lesbian from a strict religious background, living with the man they had married shortly after turning 18. After years of internal struggle with my own sexuality, I reached out to peers online within the queer community, and they encouraged me to date women, suggesting that I might be a lesbian. They also made sure that I accepted and understood that good lesbians knew that trans women were women. These new friends who told me that dating women would be freeing for me simultaneously encouraged me to date and then eventually to marry a man who identified as a woman. I knew that I was marrying a man, but all of my queer friends believed that good lesbians accepted trans women were women, and so I did my best to as well. My so-called friends within the queer community celebrated my second heterosexual marriage in one breath while encouraging me to be loud and proud about being homosexual with the next. I had left my Christian programming behind and replaced it with queer theory. I don't decide fault as a way to shrug responsibility, but to illustrate that those who would push an ideology will seek out the vulnerable. I was an adult when my peers encouraged me, after agreeing that I was a lesbian, to marry a trans-identifying man. These same peers would go on to encourage me to briefly become trans-identifying myself, pointing to feelings I shared with many exclusively same-sex attracted women as evidence that I could be a man, or at least not entirely a woman. These were the people who were supposed to be supporting me as a lesbian, but it's now clear that they didn't even know what a lesbian is. If I, as an adult, could fall victim to queer and gender ideology, how can we expect children not to? The same friends that had encouraged me to love women later ostracized me when I said that I really did love women, but that this certainly didn't extend to men who asserted that they were women. As an adult, it took me years to be able to stand up to the people who bullied me into validating their warped ideas of reality. So these same people want to influence children in schools, at so-called family-friendly pride events, at drag queen story hours, and more. They push the lie that being male or female is not a fact of biology in one's physical reality, but rather a reflection of what a person likes and how they feel, telling gender non-conforming children they should seek medical intervention. They are telling lesbian teens and young adults that they're really the opposite sex because they feel differently than their same-sex peers. And society is letting them, watching as confused kids are sterilized in the name of gender. Worse, they do this in the name of inclusive feminism, a feminism that leaves women behind. Right. Queer and trans groups are more than happy to offer support and friendship to isolated and vulnerable kids or teens at the cost of buying into their ideology. But if these kids or teens are just boring old cis straight kids, or if they don't accept that men can be women and women can be men, they will lose these friends and this support. The pressure to identify out of their sex is ever present, lest they be seen as the oppressor. We cannot expect kids to grow up free from the harms of gender ideology and sexualization if we don't stand up and speak against it ourselves. If we are complacent, kids and teens will continue to identify with transgender ideology and seek medicalization, irreparably harming their healthy bodies before they're even old enough to get a tattoo, losing their fertility before they can even have their ears pierced without their parents' approval. We know what men and women are, and no one should be afraid to say so. If we cannot name what a woman is, how can we fight for her rights? Children know the difference between men and women without being taught, but now queer-friendly teens and adults are pushing the absurd line that men can be women and vice versa. They are telling children that the truth of the differences between men and women that is self-evident is a lie. And this is being taught in grade schools with the pressure from trans activists to require it to be taught. If adults like myself can be pressured to buy into gender and queer ideologies, children must be even more vulnerable. If we don't stand up against the social contagion of transgender ideology and queer theory, how can we expect those who come behind us to? And if we can't women is, how will we fight for women's sex-based rights? Biology is not bigotry, and speaking against queer and gender ideology is a hate crime. We must speak out for women and children everywhere to protect sex-based spaces and rights. If we don't, even more children and young adults will be medically experimented on and harmed. Even more women will become the victims of trans-identified men in our spaces, restrooms, kitchens, spas, and locker rooms. Women are adult human females. And man, the safeguarding of women and girls. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Right next was that lovely lady. Hi. Thank you. Right, this is going to go up. It does get distorted. We come to these events, you know, with amazing time. Thank you. Really. Kisses. Okay. I've been shamed and defamed, tossed out into the rain. My pain shatters the sidewalks, and I grow up through the cracks like a reed. I cry, my tears mixing with the drops falling from the sky. Why? Because I dare to share that trans is a lie. Moving forward slightly, I look up. The rain turns to snow. Oh, is it time to go? But I can't run. My roots grow deep, penetrating this Midwestern soil. The toil of aging dreams, screaming in the background. I was a singer once. I held my hand to the mic, and my voice was gold. But that was all before dozens of creeping spoilers spoiled my toil with their wet dreams. Me holding fast to a sign saying, "Don't believe the hype, trans activism is misogyny." Holding fast to the light of truth, holding fast to my own dignity and willful well-being as I gasped in the muck. Fuck, all of this must be a nightmare, a terrible dream I'll wake up from. This is my home. It is where I belong, in song and in open dialogue with my fellow dwellers upon this land. Where do you stand? With or against women? Where do you stand, good people of this land, of the Great Lakes region, of our sacred waters? Mishigami, I salute you. It is clear from the weather that things will go better if we stick together, which is why I am here. There are the pains of growing tall, a spiky plant shedding her seeds in the fall, show like stretch marks on a woman's body after giving birth. I am not unscathed. I am a wounded warrior, enlivened and enraged for our cause of freedom from male tyranny. Hi, I'm Crystal Pedersen, founder of WLRN, a monthly podcast modeled after NPR's All Things Considered or Amy Goodman's Democracy Now!, featuring world news, commentary, interviews, and and music. Our podcast comes out every first Thursday of the month. We've been doing it for 6.5 years. We have not missed 1 month. And we are born of cancellation by local media in Madison, Wisconsin at 89.9 FM, community radio station WORT. They now have a policy that radical feminist voices that are critical of transgenderism are not allowed on the air. This was after I interviewed Sheila Jeffries, Megan Murphy, Julie Bindle, and dozens of other lesbians who attended the Mission Women's Music Festival. WLRN is my weed growing up through the cracks. I'd like to give a shout out to WLRN members, Sekhmet Shial, who's been with us for 6 years, Shanna DeQuarto, 6 years, April Null, 5 years, Emily Ann Lorenzen, 2 years, and Super Sister Aurora Linnea, who's been with us for 1.5 years. And if you'd like to get involved with WLRN and you are an adult human female, please find us online. We are always looking to expand our ranks and our reach. And now we're organizing speakers.
That is Ellen of Standing for Women. It is so awesome to be here in Chicago with you today, Kelly J. I'm also a singer-songwriter who used to
I'm also a singer-songwriter who used to play with my own band around Madison at different bars, coffee houses, and community centers. But because of AGP males, that's autogonophilic males, I am not allowed to play music anymore. A band called Dumpster Dick that was fronted by an AGP male named Christine Elaine organized dozens, if not hundreds, of trans activists in Madison to stop and harass me and cancel all of my shows. They have even gotten me fired from my job. A month and a half ago, I was fired and I wanted to just say that Trans Advocacy Madison is a hate group, and they organize against women and girls in Madison, Wisconsin. I hope that at some point they will be held accountable. Finally, I want to leave you on a positive note. Not everyone hates me. There are some special sisters in our sisterhood who have really lifted me up through the years. The WLRN sisters that I mentioned earlier, and Liz Miller, editor of the Feminist Anthology, Spinning and Weaving. She commissioned me to write a song and get it professionally recorded to celebrate the release of the book. I named the song after her book and was able to release a whole album of music by the same name this last spring. I have CDs here with me today if you would like one. And we're interested in supporting independent, canceled, and banned. Thank you.
Even if your team's not in the same place, or you can be, you just need the song. The family organizes work, so teams have to get why it matters and how to get it done. Try it for free. The song.
Okay, you just heard from Thistle Pedersen, one of the founders of Women's Liberation Radio News. We also saw Marissa Darling, one of the women who was at the Speaker's Corner in Madison, Wisconsin. She was targeted by the Milwaukee school system. She was a school counselor who spoke out against the transgendering of, the quote, transgendering. We don't actually validate trans. The quote, transing of children in the school system. After speaking out about that, she was put under investigation. And she is currently still under investigation and has been targeted and harassed relentlessly by TRAs where she lives. You also heard from Carrie Bruss today. We'll give more bios on the women later, but it looks like this sister who spoke earlier and couldn't be heard is going to try to deliver her speech again. So let's give her our attention. Thank you all so much for all the comments in the chat. Paint It Black, my sister out in Aussie. It's so good to see you here. We've got Bears Against Evil, The Cat Farm. We've got Mary Ross. We've got Jennifer De La Sega, Anung Ikwe. You're awesome. We see you in the chat. Diana Goldman. Feminism is here.
My name is Brett Smith, and
Misery Bloom, Leaf Brown.
Oh, she's going again.
We're trying, but I don't think we're getting audio.
When my daughter Anna, who's in 14, had substance and trans ideology. She was one of the many young girls
Oh, here we go.
She was one of the many young girls who found a community online during the COVID lockdowns and was preyed upon for her vulnerabilities, depression, ADHD, insecurity that hadn't been mapped for having a small frame and small breasts compared to her peers. I had been aware of trans ideology prior to this, knowing Anna was exactly the type of girl who would be susceptible to its allure of community and friendship and acceptance. I had read the studies by Lisa Whitman about ROGD, irreversible damage by Abigail Schreier. I was subscribed and up to date on every newsletter, the famous Current, Worth, Women Are Human, every pro-women group out there. But it still doesn't prepare you for when this gets into your home and your child feels like they identify as a different gender. It didn't stop from the road when I discovered the secret social media accounts Anna had where she claims to be a trans boy. Upon finding this, I confronted her and explained I would not be affirming her. She was not a boy. She was caught in a social contagion from online and in her real-life peer group, and that time offline would tell for sure. I let her know I would be removing her from all social media and real-life friend groups involved in gender ideology. I kept good in my word, too. In response, Anna ate a handful of my Xanax in an attempt to commit suicide at 14 years old. Words cannot express the nightmare, grief, and the pain of going through this. Fortunately, a year later, she has desisted. She is happy, she is healthy, accepting that she is a young woman. And as you see, she is a beautiful young woman. The most insidious part of the story is how I've been silenced when I try to speak about it. People who were close friends told me I should be reported to CPS for abusing Anna by not affirming her. Here's the thing. When I posted about this on Twitter, it went viral. I posted that I did not affirm my daughter, that I waited to see what would happen. It went viral, and CPS was sent to my home. These people doxed me. They sent me death threats, bomb threats, told me to kill myself, sent me bomb threats, threatening the one child they claimed they wanted to protect me from abusing. Even though CPS has since closed my case, obviously I'm not an abusive parent, they do this to silence you and intimidate you. People who think you're hurting children they don't care about your children. These people do not care about your children. They care about shutting up the uppity women who dare to say they can't be us. It's a fear tactic. Unfortunately, they chose the wrong one, and I am not scared of a man in a dress. He is still a man in a dress. Nobody wants to hear the part where the messages I saw on Anna's social media were from people, adults, grooming her into thinking she's trans. They don't want to hear how this movement is steeped in fetishism, and how the kids and the adults grooming my child talk to her about kinks and fetishes and BDSM at 14. People refuse to talk about the prevalence of trauma and neurodivergence in these young kids claiming trans identities. Friends and family members sympathize with what my family went through, but avoided talking to me about the ideological capture that led to her harming herself. Parents like myself who want to speak about it are branded hateful, transphobic, bigots, abusive. We're called Nazis. These tactics are deployed to stop us, to shame us, and vilify us into silence. The truth is, we are the majority. Yeah. Everybody knows what a woman really is and what a woman is not. Everybody knows. This current social and political climate scares others from admitting so, publicly at least. However, after what I went through, going viral on Twitter, I didn't just get hundreds of messages telling me to kill myself, telling me I should die, sending me bomb threats. I had hundreds of messages of other parents afraid to speak out who said that I was a hero mom. Protecting my child from adult groomers should not be heroic in this day and age. It should be parenting. That is not me being a hero. I mean, I appreciate the kind words, but this is how we're supposed to parent. I cannot believe that this is up for debate. The truth is not hurtful. We deserve to say this out loud. I do not let these people dictate how I speak about my experiences with gender ideology and with my children. I am done being silenced. I implore you to speak up as well. Together, our voices make a roar that cannot be silenced. Today is my youngest daughter's second birthday, and my gift to her is being here to help give her a future where I don't have to worry about some man pulling his penis out in her single-sex spaces. Where I don't have to worry about people in her inbox, in her email, on her social media, telling her to send pictures of her body as a barely past pubescent child to see if she could pass as the other sex. My gift to my youngest daughter on her birthday is being here to give a future to her and to your daughters and your sons to grow up in a world where this is the normal thing, that I'm not a hero parent, just a good parent. Well done. Well done. Do you want to say something? You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. Okay, I'm going to pin this on you. Just is that okay? Alright, well done. Really close, almost touching mine. I just want to thank you all for your support. And amplify your voices. I just want to thank you all for your support. And for being there for me, I guess. And for other women struggling with the same thing. Do you want to say if you want to say it and then get your mum to say it, but you've really got to properly shout, okay? I'm sorry if you can't hear me. Keep your mouth shut. Alright. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm a little worked up. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here and for being supportive. For listening to me and for listening to what me and my mom have to say and for listening to us and taking us seriously. It means so much that people are actually willing to listen to us now. Because these days people want to silence women now, and we're out here raising our voices and we're doing our thing, you know? We're bringing justice. That was great. It's really hard to hear. Well done. It's really brilliant. No apologies. That was great. Really great. Just got to say to anybody at home, if you're still quiet, then if not now, then when? And if not you, then who? It just is going to take 100 tiny acts of courage to really kick this into touch. And it's about time it just has to go now. We're here on a light note, just a very light, small note. We're here, and there's girls and boys who brought their mums pots and pans to come and bang so that they drown women out. wasn't that they were also mutilating kids, cutting the breasts off of 13-year-olds, invading our spaces, raping women in prison. If it wasn't for that, it would be quite funny. But it's just, and what's really super scary is they all think they're right. They know that women don't have penises, but they think they're right to stand up for this new invented bullshit civil bloody rights thing that they think fighting for, which is actually a men's sexual rights movement, and the bodies of our children are simply human shields, so that men who get erections and turned on by themselves as women can continue to do so and be seen as a vulnerable and oppressed minority. It's absolutely got to stop. These are fetishists. That's what they are. And these young people, these silly young people who will mutilate their own bodies at the altar of this cult, they will live to regret it. Maybe some of them won't, but they will live to regret it. They'll live to look at their bodies and ask, what the hell did you let me do? How on earth was I convinced that this was something that was worthy, that I should be doing to myself? Like, how the hell did you let psychopathic doctors on TikTok encourage girls to get their breasts sliced off? How the hell did you rob me of my sexual function when I was 8? Giving me puberty blockers, making my bones crumble. Like, it's absolutely astounding that this is actually happening in 2022. It's not some third world country. This is the United States of America. And actually, when it comes to who is king, right now it's Big Pharma. Who else would like to speak? Oh, bless you. Thank you so much. Who else would like to come? I'm going to pin this on. Okay. You have to hold that mic like you're kissing it. Okay. Hi, my name is Bea. I'm a lesbian. And one of the things that really makes me angry is all the men who keep saying that they're lesbians. That is not the case. To be a lesbian, you have to be female, and you have to be sexually attracted to females. So anybody who is a heterosexual couple, and the male partner in that decides that he is going to start wearing dresses and makeup, that doesn't make them a lesbian couple. I've gotten to many arguments with people about this, so I just want it to be spread wide and far. You cannot call yourself a lesbian if there's any partner who has a penis. The other thing that I wanted to say is that I'm a former librarian, and I hear so many people saying, oh, I read banned books. Well, as a librarian, you're trying to get access to information. You're trying to make that available wide. And here we are. A lot of those people are probably out here banging drums or hands together or whatever they're doing. You know, if you want free speech in America, you have to stand up against the trans rights BS. You have to allow women to speak. What are you afraid of? That we're right? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And last name is LGB Block 50. Yes. Can I pin this on you? All right, I'm going to split it. I'm so sorry. Hello, everyone. My name's Jay. Pretty close? Oh, good. All right. Hi, everyone. My name's Jay. I'm going to keep this short because I'm a filmmaker and I just noticed sort of in my industry how they were correcting some women when they would speak on my mouth. Okay. I started noticing, my name's Jay, I'm a filmmaker, and I also noticed on some of the sets when some women would be speaking and they would say female, they would get corrected. I did not like that. I did not like that at all, that they were doing that to these women. You be able to speak however you want, and the friendship. Can I shout? Oh, I do have a phone. My name's Jay. Can you hear me now? All right. My name's Jay. I'm a filmmaker. And I didn't like how the women were getting corrected sometimes when I'm on set. This is not going to end. They start by, you got to realize, they started with people that we're supposed to care about the most. And they started hitting low. I hate to say that, but that's the reason why they go after these women in prison. That's the reason why they go after their kids. So you will do nothing. So you have to speak up. This is where the line should be ending. But if it doesn't, no matter what, I will always be speaking the truth from here all the way until the end. I don't care where they're trying to push this. It will always be a pushback. We know what a woman is, we know what a man is, and that is just fact from now and always, forever. All right? And I want to say something over you. Thank you guys so much. You're so awesome. You should all be so proud of yourselves. And I'm very proud to be here and sharing this moment with all of you. Thank you so much. Hi, can you guys mic up the mic? Thank you so much. It's really great. Okay, anyone else? Anyone else? Come on. I'm just gonna double check everyone. I'm gonna hug you right here, but I'm also gonna check on the microphone that people can hear. So I'm just gonna talk and I'm gonna double check, okay? Good. Hello. I wanted to start by saying, and I think this is a very important thing to say, I am a radical feminist. I am an atheist. I am a leftist. And I do not buy into trans or gender ideology. And I think that it has been claimed that any of us who are against gender ideology are conservative, right-wing, and that is not the case. So if you are a feminist, an atheist, a leftist, and you agree with us, you're not alone. I also want to say that it gets better. When I was a child, I was lucky to be allowed to wear whatever I wanted and play with whatever toys I wanted to play with. When I was a child, I loved Batman and the X-Men and science and dinosaurs and space and Star Trek. I still like these things. I could wear jeans and t-shirts. I didn't wear frilly dresses to school. I played with action figures and trucks and dinosaurs. And my parents knew that I was still a girl because girls and boys, it's just about your sex. That's all that it means. It has nothing to do with what you enjoy, what your passions are, what your interests are. It says nothing about that. Girls and boys can be whatever they want to be. They can wear whatever they want to wear. They can do whatever they want to do. And it doesn't mean that they are the opposite sex. And I can tell you that after being a gender non-conforming girl, I am now a happy, productive adult, and I know many of my dearest friends are gender non-conforming adult women who lead happy, productive, fulfilling lives. And that is something that is not being told to children now anymore, which is unfortunate. Because yes, when I was a teenager, I was sad. I was worried. But I was always told it will get better. And it did. But that is not what children are being told now. Children are now being told that if they are a girl and they don't like to wear dresses and they like playing with dinosaurs, that they are a boy. Girls are told that if they are not attracted to boys and want to date girls, that means that they are a boy. Little boys are told that if they like wearing princess dresses and putting on their mom's high heels, that means that they are a girl. This is very aggressive. It goes against everything that second wave feminism tried to achieve and did achieve. This is a backlash against feminism. Make no mistake. This is what this is. I will shout, yes! So, there's a lot more that I could say. I have spoken in the past that transitioning children is today's lobotomy. Decades ago, the lobotomy was hailed as a medical miracle. One of the people who pioneered the lobotomy was given the Nobel Prize. The lobotomy was a physical treatment that treated mental and emotional illness, non-quantifiable illness and distress. And it wasn't until decades later that he found out that it destroyed lives. It maimed people for life. And now it is rightfully revived as the unethical experimentation that it is. I believe that medical and social transition of children will be regarded in the near future as the same, because there is no difference. We are basically using experimental medical treatment to quote-unquote treat something that is completely non-quantifiable. What is trans? Trans is completely gender dysphoria. It's completely self-reported. There is no test to say whether you have gender dysphoria or not. You cannot swab your cheek and come up with a test that says, yes, you have gender dysphoria. And there is no proven treatment for gender dysphoria, in fact. There's studies that have shown that people after transitioning, after getting sex reassignment surgery, have similar rates of suicide as before their treatment. So, thank you very much for coming. I'm very proud to stand with women. You all are so very brave and so very inspirational. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's just for those in the back, trans women are men. Trans women are men. Trans women are men.
Trans women are men.
Transitioning children is abuse.
Transitioning children is abuse.
Transitioning children is abuse.
Transitioning children is abuse.
Trans women are men.
Trans women are men.
Trans women are men. We don't care what you do, just stay away from us. Stay out of our faces and leave our children alone.
Haley.
We all know what a woman is. I want to start asking the question, what the hell is a trans woman? That's the real question here. That's the unanswered question. So, also, when has ever telling a woman to shut up work? Like, do they really think this is gonna work? It's gonna make us louder. We're getting bigger, we're getting louder. It's not work. They only have noise. That's all they have. They don't have facts. They don't have common sense. They have nothing. They have nothing but noise. Let them go. That's all they have. So, and that's why I got it.
Yeah.
They can't do anything about that. That's just one big problem.
And then we're gonna disperse and go multiple. We're going. What's this location again? It's called Like it's on the way to Navy Pier on the lower. Yeah, but it starts at 4. You might be able to take it. But apparently, I feel like everything. I haven't noticed I don't care. Everybody. We're there to get people realize that we're there to get like the people on Google will say that like all the rainbow colors in the flag and first off, just to remember everything has a gender rock.
I'm sorry your mother didn't like you very much, guys. Okay, anybody else? So nice to see you. I'm gonna really shake. You hold that a minute. I'm gonna pin it on you quite high up. Okay. It's all distorted, but I just need these people to hear your words. Scream. So you have to really shake as loud as you can. Okay. Hey, it's not that bad. Okay. Hey. I don't have a lot to say. I just want to say that the truth is magnetic. It requires force to be stopped. Nothing is going to stop us. They know that. That is not confidence. That's not what confidence looks like. This is what confidence looks like. I ask you guys, women. Sorry. I love you guys. I'm so glad that everybody came out today. I'm so glad to be here. Mommy J, thank you so much. Okay, I want to say thank you so much to the women of Chicago. Really organized women that got this together today. I wasn't one of them. I just really used them and showed up. So thank you to those women. Thank you to every one of you, despite the intimidation, who refused to stay home, who refused to stay silent. I'm sorry your mum doesn't like you. Alright, so if we can gather, if we can keep our courage, then all around us are fucking insane. And I promise we will win. If we can recognize misogyny, and we can name it without hesitation, then I promise we will win. And you know why else we're gonna win? Because I never lose! That hurts me.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Hold on.
This actually is my house.
All right. That lights you up. Oh, I'm gonna.
Wait, I'm on the show?
Here,
Hold on.
hey, Jeanette, can you hear us?
Okay, hold on.
Maybe she can. Wow.
Let's
I
see.
don't know.
Okay, I'll go over here.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
That was amazing.
Can you hear me?
I can. We can
Yes.
hear you.
It's funny. Where are my AirPods when I need them so I can actually hear you? But you can
Just
kind of
talk.
hear me. Can I get a having trouble connecting?
We
It's
can
often
hear
caused
you.
by
We
an
can hear
unstable
you.
internet connection or unstable women.
No.
Okay, I got a thumbs up from Amy.
Yeah.
So right now we're getting a turf scope.
Oh, now we lost her.
No, we lost the turf cam.
Friends, thank you
Turf cam
everyone
down.
in the chat. That has been amazing. Wow, that was
Oh,
a
there
lot.
she is. Here she comes. She's back.
Okay, she's back.
I miss you when we're not together.
I know.
So we're getting a Turfs Go Home chant, which is because I live here. So it's actually not that far. I only live a few miles from the actual location that we're at right now. I'm gonna go home later, so I guess I should probably tell them that so they can stop chanting. I think we outnumbered them pretty heavily, actually. They had some nice spacing, I would say. Maybe some of them used to be in the marching band when they were younger because they had good even spacing when they were standing. They have some actual band instruments and some other noisemakers. I feel like they could be people who would be interested in maybe supporting sporting events. If we could kind of turn them toward women's sports, I feel like they could be an asset. Let's see, what else? The police are fantastic. They created kind of a ring.
Oh, we're losing her again. So we're listening to Jeanette Cooper, who is a founding member of Partners for Ethical Care. This is her home city. So she is reporting on the ground after the event. All right, here she is again, maybe.
I love that thing that says you're on the show. It makes
You're on the
show.
Yeah.
Thing slightly, a little bit. The weather's actually pretty good. It's slightly chilly, and I think the fascists are kind of dispersing. I'm not sure where they're gonna. I keep cutting out. I know. I keep cutting out.
You're good.
We need
You're
to
good.
be closer to each other. Oh, she's back. Oh,
You're good. You're good.
Some people are so happy to see my hair again. I know. Other women have better hair. So I was just saying, the police are fantastic. They did a wonderful job. The mounted police were here earlier, and that was lovely, which we talked about, I think. And then the bicycle police created a safe circle for us to, I think I showed that in the video. They created kind of a circle for us and created space that would just be for us. Have our free speech event, and then they had a bit of an entry system. So people who kind of weren't with our group really didn't even.
All right, we'll see if we get her back in a moment, friends. Yeah, we thank you, Genevieve, for being in the chat. Thank you, so many ladies, for being in the chat. It really does take a lot of courage to speak up, and we hope that the more that we do these events, that more women will be inspired. Let's see, she's back. Let's try this one more time. Okay.
Okay, what I really want to know is when I'm gone, is it Amy, Kat, or Jessica who identifies as me and just keeps talking? That's all I want to know. It's like the
I identify as Soup Group.
Yeah, so now they've turned to, I think, light jazz on their interrupting music, which is nice. It's more pleasant. Now I think we're not trapped, but I think the women are inside this bicycle circle and taking photos and talking to each other. And I think they're going to be probably attempting, let me try to show you, attempting to disperse. Jeanette, why don't you look at the right thing?
So ladies, this is a very good point that Jeanette is making right now. It is very, very important to have an exit strategy. It's very important to have a plan for how you're going to exit, have a partner to exit with. It's really important because they often will follow you to your cars or try to take a picture of your license plate. So Ubering back to your car or ride sharing back to other people's cars.
And never leave alone. Never go to a protest or a demonstration alone, and never leave alone. If everybody else is leaving and it's only you, go with them.
For the pan. What else is going on? Let's see.
All right, she's giving us a little tour on the ground. It's hard to hear her though.
Her mic dropped.
Like that person likes me. Feel like, you know, they kind of,
This is a good time to mention that there.
in the circle, we have various kind of women just hanging out. It's kind of nice.
I don't know.
Let's see all these wonderful faces. We can say hello to everybody. We're just hanging out. This is Beth. Where's Beth? Beth helped us out. Part of the organizing team for Chicago. There's a fantastic mom. Where did she go? I don't know how to use my own camera. Oh, there she is. Fantastic mom back behind me. Haley. We have Brett here. We're on Amy Sousa's live stream. There's Brett and her daughter. She might have nicer hair than I do. That's kind of a thing. I'm just looking for good-looking hair and beautiful faces. We have some other women. It's funny, they keep saying go home, but I actually, again, I live here. Kelly J is here. She walked over, she's thanking basically all the women for coming.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Well,
they might pop back in, so we're gonna hope for that.
wow, what a day and what an event. I think we can ladies, you speak. Let's get into some analysis of what happened, and then I want to put up our call in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Jessica, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
Sure. Yeah. So one thing I really want to talk about is, before we went into actually going ahead and watching the Speaker's Corner event, we were talking a little bit about what our approach might be going forward for whether or not pre-announced events may or may not be our best strategy in terms of security and actually getting our voice out. So I want to continue that discussion. I want to talk about what could augment our presence on the ground, whether or not it's pop-up or pre-announced. Like I said before, hearing protection, that's going to be key at all our things. I was really glad to see a lot of women on the ground. If you looked at them closely, they did have their plugs in. So they were listening, they came prepared. So that's really great. Something I want to stress is when we go out and we do any of these in-person street actions, make sure you take literature with you. Make sure you get pieces of paper, things that you can cheaply print. So even if the public cannot hear you, if you have a few women that go out, teamed out in pairs, and go out and orbit the demonstration and can actually make physical contact with passersby, members of the public, because as you saw in that video, this is what happens to us at all of these kind of pre-announced events, is they kind of kettle us. They kind of serve to use their bodies to get us trapped into a corner. And so, like I say, passersby can't really hear our message, don't really know what we're saying. But if we have some women that escape, come out of that small little hole that we're in and can safely orbit us and distribute collateral, any literature to people of the public, that would do so much to amplify that action and actually get our word out, regardless of what they do to us with sound.
I love this idea right here that Flea Gymnastics is saying, a sign with a QR code. I think that's a great idea.
Genius. That's genius.
We can use it again and again at other events. It can be scanned from afar. I love that. That's a great idea. Maybe, I don't know if we printed out all our signs yet, but Kay Yang, that would be good for some of our signs. I believe
Add it to my list.
we may have already paid to print them, so I don't know
Add it to my list of stuff.
Oh, that was really good thinking, Fleet Gymnastics. QR codes really can help. Yeah.
Yeah, we need a QR code. I'm writing that down. Jennifer from PEC knows how to make them. Maybe she can help us.
You know, ladies, and what we want to get into here and what we want everyone to be doing, you know, we're witnessing these speakers. We're here to be in a community. We're here to witness, but we're also here to observe and strategize. So we can start to see some of the strategies that we are looking at in the different cities. What we saw in way back when I did Port Townsend, what we saw in Tacoma, what we're seeing here, there are very similar strategies that they are using, and that corralling strategy is one of the best strategies that they have. So we need to really think about holding our line very well. I love this, these bike barrier that they made. I think if we were all in a city together, if people were not traveling in, you know, regardless of whether police bring bikes, that's a great that was a great little strategy right there. I loved seeing that in action.
Yeah, and one thing that we can take notice of is that despite the fact that they did hire private security and there was a strong police presence, there were still a lot of aggression coming from the quote trans rights activists. I don't know how long we can keep calling them that. By the way, we're gonna have to come up with something else.
They're trans supremacists.
Yeah, trans supremacists. That I've actually been saying trans supremacists for a few years now. People are coming around to seeing the supremacy part. It's not just about rights or any type of equality. No, they want total and utter supremacy and control over women and our bodies. But yeah, it's despite the fact of the strong police presence and security and that they had a plan and everything, there were a lot of aggression from the TRAs. And I saw in the comments, people were saying, did you just see Kelly J get pushed? Kelly was just shoved. I didn't catch it visually. I'm sure it's captured on camera and you can probably go back and find it on the live stream. And I will be looking for that to try to show tomorrow if that happened. I think obviously it did. We'll try to find it. But yeah, so we've got to come up with more than just, oh, we have security, we have the cops. We have to have a strategy. And part of having a strategy means you need to know who you're organizing with. You need to know the people that are coming to an event, and maybe again talking about like what's the best thing to do. Maybe the come one, come all style is not really what we can do right now. We should be working with close, trusted people, and then each person vet other people. So instead of just inviting anyone and everyone, everybody who is invited knows someone who is part of the organizing or is friends with somebody. And then after you have done your organizing for the event, then you can figure out how you want to outreach and invite other people, because it's not that we want to exclude people. We don't want to exclude anyone. But when we're organizing, all of our safety has to be in mind and strategy. And that means we have to have spaces where you can have those kinds of discussions and get things done. And you can do that a lot better when you are working with a small group of vetted people. So that's a lot of what we do with our work.
Yeah, I think, you know, Lear is talking about this strategy is to make their violence visible. And I agree.
It's pretty visible.
It's pretty visible. That is the thing about doing these live events. You know, they show up and they tell on themselves. Their behavior is them telling on themselves. So it's important for us to capture that on film. I do also think, of course, that there's a lot that we can do with our pre-planning. We're starting to really see they've got earpieces in, they have organized maneuvers that we're doing, and that is why it is so urgent to have a core team and be in key communication with your core team so that you can have strategies in place, counter strategies in place. You know, I think that we are seeing that we need to do more as Kay Yang said, we need to do more than just sort of show up, one and all. We need to have our own counter strategies prepared for how we're going to deal with them. And a very, very important one, and we talked about it while it was happening. I know someone said I was talking over Jeanette, but I really felt urgently like I needed to make the point that we need to have exit strategies. This was key in Port Townsend. This was key in Tacoma. They will try to pick off someone who is lingering all alone. You must have a buddy to leave with. Give each other rides to your cars or get Ubers to your cars. They will attempt to follow you and get your license plate number. And I don't say this to scare everyone or to prohibit you from participating. I think there are ways that we can participate smartly. But I think these things are really important to remember. And yes, Kay Yang is putting up, there is a preparedness guide that she has made beautifully for anyone to look at. There's a de-escalation guide there. There's a preparedness guide. So if you have not been to one of these kind of events and you want to understand what you can expect and strategies that you can have for yourself, Kay Yang is a great resource with Stop Female Erasure. This is also a place that you can go if you want to be a larger participant. There is a sign up there. So if you want to start adding your voice and be a part of it, you can do that there as well.
And really what we want to do is really capture this moment, right, where women are coming forward. They're being inspired. I know I'm being inspired. I feel revitalized by this, honestly, despite all the hard work that it's been and a lot of, the background chaos. Like, this is very inspiring to see women coming out, knowing that we're going to have opposition and saying, I'm going anyway. I'm not going to be stopped. I'm not going to let my voice be silenced. I'm not going to be drowned out. I'm not going to lay down and take it. We are not taking it anymore. We can't take it anymore. Look at where this is. Look at what's going on right now. All of our sex-based rights in the US have been completely annihilated. This is supposed to be the freest country in the world, the last bastion of hope for the world, right? What does that say about our sisters all around the world?
Yeah, absolutely. Ladies, do we want to try and take a few calls?
Yeah, before I start breaking out in monologues.
I live for your monologues. I was hyped, John. I said, yeah, here she go. Straight off the rip.
I'm like, I'm going again.
Call in, get a personal monologue. Get your personal Kay Yang monologue on the phone right now. I just will make one up just for you.
Oh my God. We have so much to talk about strategy and all of that, but we also want to talk about what we just witnessed today, and shout out all the amazing women on the ground who put their everything into making this happen. Jeanette Cooper, Carrie Bruss, and Beth Lowe. Round of applause, a silent one, because our ears are like, even my rough voice is probably hard on your ears right now, but after all the sirens and everything.
Earplugs.
But yeah, just a huge shout out to Jeanette, Carrie, and Beth, and the really hard work that they put in to make this happen. We got to see a sneak peek into the window of all the work that they're doing.
Artemis.
Hello, welcome.
Artemis.
You are on the air with Amy and Kay Yang and Jessica Gonzalez. If you want to say your name, you can. Welcome.
Artemis, Passion Fire, and a few others.
Woo!
Hey,
yes, shout out.
Hey, I thought it was great. I watched all of them, my Facebook name is Diana Goldman, but
Oh, Diana Goldman, you're amazing. Oh, this is so cool. Great.
I love you.
You have the floor. We want to hear you.
Artemis is, you know, that's like ritual name, been that way for 30 years. I thought today's action was fantastic. I watched all of them. Of course, I love the San Francisco one because that's my ground zero, and that's the one where I've made my stand for the last 30 years. And to hear Joey Bright speak and then Exelanzic, that really spoke to me. But as
Yeah, they
far
were
as
awesome.
your energy, oh my God, today's was the best because those women kept coming forward and coming forward and coming forward despite all the craziness in the background. And they really had a lot to say. They were fearless. It was great to see so many lesbians come forward. You know, it just, I don't know. I just feel really energized watching today's. I was a little despondent watching the other two in Seattle and Portland, you know, and even Austin, because it was like all dudes and not really that many speakers, but today was just fantastic.
Yeah, it was an especially good one. Do you want to add? I don't know. Do you want to add your piece? What's your 2-minute speech that you would give if you got to go to one of these events?
Well, I would love to find a way to like do that as noise pollution because we've got to cut out those sirens. Those sirens just really were blocking a lot of what the women had to say. Unless there's a way, like you were saying about us getting siloed, the women getting siloed into that. I think Jessica's idea of handing out literature and expanding the circle, but yet keeping it protected, I think is a really good idea. I think that's a really great idea because we don't want to be just like we're only on film, that's it. But that we're part of the community. And I don't know. I just was really energized by it today. And, you know, having the protection, I think that's important, whether that or the women are safety trained and keeping the integrity of that circle and speaking out and having good equipment. I think the good equipment is a big thing. And also, like some of you were mentioning, having an exit strategy, because that was one thing, you know, we as safety monitors, which I did a lot at San Francisco Pride, well, as a contingent monitor, we were really told that it was really important to be really careful leaving the Pride Parade because guys would look for, you know, gays or lesbians to beat up and do horrible things to after the parade. So I think having an exit strategy, even taking public transportation, if that's a possibility, and being with a group of people is really important.
Yeah, thank you so much, Diana. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for calling in today.
Cool to hear your voice.
And all of you, your energy is fantastic, and I'll see you at Turf Collective tonight.
All right, we'll see you there. Thank you.
Bye, Artemis.
I want to put up a comment by Mary Rose. So I want to let everyone know, maybe you don't know this. When I stream these, it streams to my Facebook, to my Twitter, and to my YouTube. YouTube allows you to put subtitles on after the fact, but they don't do subtitles during the live. So they don't have that thing where they guess it as you go, but Facebook does. So if you have a Facebook account and you want transcripts for these lives, you can watch them on Facebook. You can still participate in the chat through Facebook. I don't know if you saw, I've put up, I believe Diana was even, Diana. There she is. See, you see she has a Facebook sign near her avatar. She's watching through Facebook. So if you want live transcripts, if you can watch through Facebook, and that way if you need to turn down the noise a little bit, you can try and do it that way. So I do try to stream in different locations so we can catch cast as wide a net as possible, but I also stream in different locations because different locations have different tools or perks, or I don't know what you want to call it, the different things.
Okay, so I would like to know if there are any women here and you are outside the US, can you drop in the chat where you live and what's going on where you are. What's your biggest concern where you live? And if you're in the UK, hello. If you're in the UK, we'd like to hear from you as well.
Oh,
I
and I
think
want to give
anyone can call the Google Voice number.
Yeah, anyone can call. And if you don't want to, if you don't, I know that for some people you have to think about long distance, but if you just call and hang up, I can also call you back, or you can text that number and I can call you back. Also, I want to give a shout out to the UK because they did a Halloween speakers corner this morning. DJ Lippy and Aja were hosting.
Hey.
It was fantastic. I tuned in very early. I tuned in very early this morning to watch some of that. Their costumes were amazing. Aja was dressed as a fox, and DJ Lippy was dressed as Joy McLaughlin, whatever his name is, the one who was he was the fox beater who talks about he promotes pedophilia. I don't remember who he is to them, but he doesn't like the TERFs in the UK, and I see him on Twitter all the time through my UK feeds. But there was great costumes and great speeches from those women. Oh, my Facebook page is my name, Amy E. Sousa.
You want to put it up there, Amy?
Yeah, my face. I'm gonna put my Facebook up there. Yeah, hold on.
Okay, do that. So, while we have this opportunity, I want to talk more about Partners for Ethical Care and what they do. Oh, we got a caller. Okay, so we don't quite have the opportunity yet. We'll get to it.
All right. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
You are on.
Welcome.
Go ahead.
I just said welcome to myself because this is Maria Adamczyk.
Oh, hey, Maria.
Maria Adamczyk. Hi. Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
You guys.
I'm so glad you're here. Tell us more about how you're feeling from your experience in Tacoma. I saw some of your comments in the chat.
I was not in Tacoma. I happen to have the most astute mirror neurons. I'm autistic, so I don't think I'm really special, but I felt emotionally like I was there. It was a gut punch, so I didn't mean to represent myself. Yeah.
No, I think we all felt like that. So.
But I had to take a break. I have some health issues I got to work on, so it can be hard for me to get out to these live events. I also don't have a vehicle of my own.
Nope, sorry.
It sounds like you guys are getting a lot of calls in.
Nope, that was just my sister. Don't worry about her.
Oh, okay. Hey, can I just read you a couple words of a poem? It'll only take us.
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All right, so I actually wrote this. I've been reading Jennifer Billick and was coming to realize a lot of stuff that was going on in the world, including the COVID regime back. And then the Astroworld event occurred, and I saw that as being a real microcosm of what was going on in all of our communities where we're fighting for the truth to be told, where you had this huge crowd crush. You had security that was intentionally hired in a manner which allowed for, I should have turned the screen off in the other room. You had security that wasn't vetted, that didn't know how to do its job, that wasn't doing its job. You had a situation that just seemed like it was, for better, kind of let it happen on purpose, sort of LIHOP type situation. At Astroworld, that is a strange rabbit hole. And then you had those kids climbing up.
Yeah, that was really weird, to say the least.
They were screaming. They were saying there's people dying, and the people on stage are just ignoring them. I mean, it's just absolute. I mean, literally, this stuff is nightmares. So, I just sat down and I thought about everything. I started writing this, and I kind of want to make it. I'm just going to read you a few lines, if that's okay.
Please do. We'd love to hear it.
Thanks, guys. It's called Transhumanism / Astroworld.
I definitely have to hear it now. Come on, Maria. I got to hear that.
All right. Let me tell you about this world that we're living in. It's a long con game of shadow and deception. We're caught someplace between the endpoint and its inception. Mass casualties surround me. We're screaming, but we can't get no reception. There's a war on the real, and I'm a conscientious objector. I say no, sir. You call it progress when a crowd blindly surges ahead? Women and children first, under stone beats they bled. No worries, because it's only fleshly burdens shed. As we raise the flag for the transhumanist state, it's their manifest destiny to depopulate. Economic ties to deterministic lies. All hail. Satanism, paganism, zombie Nazi catechism. In the Great War, we set the Jews of Auschwitz free, but then gave life and liberty to the ones at the gate in exchange. In exchange for their technology, it was the Nazis we would liberate and rehouse in the deep state. Philosophy of magical supremacy, blueprint for immortality, transforming our humanity. Their playground is our anatomy.
Yep.
The master race will be free, biomorphic autonomy, and if we botch your surgery, well, AI is an endless dream. So fly that before you die, you'll sign up your mind to its destiny. Live forever as any gender, surreal psychedelic surrender. Artistic dreams, psychopathic schemes, narcissism is their game. It's an endless war on truth to hide from their shame. Your body's their commodity, sculpting clay, biohazard waste, stepping stones to the master race. The show goes on. Saturn's Neo blesses Satan's spawn, and everybody just sings along. I can't believe this is the world that we're living in. It's a long con game of shadow and deception. We caught someplace between the endpoint and its inception, and I'm a conscientious objector. No, sir. I got liberal values, but I reject yours. I believe in sex and not gender. This whole reality we live in, man, it's got me on a bender. But I won't capitulate to the lies and the hate that you celebrate, profit to perpetuate. And all you do is denigrate, then say, no debate. You want me to get irate? Well, no way. I refuse to play. In your war on truth, I checkbox, conscientious objector. Can't be a pretender. No, sir, not in my nature. Yeah, I believe in a human nature, dignified and resolved, logical and involved. This is not a doomsday we can't handle.
Yeah.
Yes, Maria.
Cool.
Yes.
Boom. I love it. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Whoa, you just stuffed so much in there.
Well done, yeah.
Hey, thank you so much. I'm gonna bow out before I take too much of your time.
Oh, you're good. You gotta write that up, and we gotta amplify that.
I'll do a recording.
Yes.
You got a good beat.
The crowd is loving it. Thank you so much for that.
Hey, God bless. Thank you so much, you guys, for the time. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye now.
Maria, you gotta send me that.
Yeah.
We
gotta put that up there. I love that so much. That was amazing. All right. Kay Yang, you want to try and tell us once more about PEC? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get through talking a little bit about PEC before we get another call. Although it's so awesome that we're getting.
I know it's great.
I love these calls.
So, yeah. Oh wait, I think also no, you're not going to. Because we have.
Well, she can talk about PEC.
I'm in the show. Okay, we have some women here. There's Wendy. Hello.
Hi, Wendy.
Hello.
There we go. I'm so dumb. I can't figure out how my own camera works.
I'm so glad she keeps joining.
I know. Okay, so we have dispersed. They said church go home, and here we are in a parking lot. Here's Carrie.
Still not home. Okay, right on.
Carrie, one of the organizers. Actually, we have the whole organizer team. That would be 3 women. Beth is over there passing out brownies.
Brownies,
Yeah,
yes.
so we
Lear's brownies. Thank you, Lear.
Yeah, so we
Oh
have
my
food.
God, Lear sent brownies.
I know.
Wow.
Like,
Okay,
no joke. I mean,
shared.
Like,
I didn't keep them for
that's
myself.
a massive amount of
I
brownies.
dropped one though. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, okay, let's recap. What kind of questions you got? Like, I'm ready.
Well, tell us about, I don't know. Tell us what do you estimate your numbers at, and
What do we think our numbers were? Yeah.
Maybe close to 40? No, more than that. I think more than that. Oh, way more than that.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so we're saying minimum 40. I wasn't counting. I think, yeah, we had some people outside. So I tried to show that on the video thing. And you said that I was just black, which I'm not. I'm white. But I understood that you were talking about my screen, so then it made sense to me.
Are you two still having a love fest that's still going on?
Yeah, it's never ending. So then anyway, I went back out around. I hope you could see. We had a few women, maybe 3 and 3, maybe 6 outside of the circle, who were just kind of holding space and signs outside, so that the actual public could know what was going on inside that circle. Because the police had created a bicycle kind of barricade where, unless you were kind of given the thumbs up by somebody inside the barricade, you were not going to get in, which was kind of nice. They established that space for us to have our free speech event, and then the rest of the kind of people were outside of that, banging on their pans and whatever they were doing.
Jeanette, could you give us a recap of some of the speakers, like who they were, what some of them spoke about, whatever you remember? And I know that you were like getting bombarded, so
I mean, it's crazy. I was standing right there, 5 feet away. I mean, I could hear only because I was, 5 feet away from people. And to be honest, inside, I mean, from your point of view, from the live stream, so once I do want to talk through one thing. So after we tried to establish a spot that was a little bit long, and we didn't pull it off. So then I suggested that we coalesce together around our tripods and then step back to create to actually create space. So that was a strategy, I think, that worked pretty well. Once we established our core group in the center around the tripods, we just simply stepped back a few paces and kind of pushed back against people who were surrounding us. And we just established a space for ourselves in that center with the tripods, the cameras, and the amplifier. So
I love that.
Yeah, so it worked quite well. I wasn't exactly sure, but
so push back, and take
and
up
I said
space.
we just have to hold that line. So there were a few women that I told, hey, I need you to move to this other area so that we have a circle, and we're going to create and push back and create this circle of a space, just so that we can hold this. And then from that point, and that was after I talked and after Brett talked the first time, just to start talking. So then the kind of event started, really, where we kind of held that space. But it was a pretty tight circle. So maybe, I don't know, 5 or 10 feet of that space in the center, including all the, the tripods and equipment stuff. And we in the circle could hear the amplification. As long as somebody was talking loud enough, we could hear the sister talking and saying her speech more or less, because the noise people behind us, sure, they were loud and obnoxious, and they had, they didn't really even use their voices. Instead, they used kind of, these sirens on bullhorns and things like that. They actually hurt quite a bit of cutlery. I will say there was some cutlery destruction, which is kind of sad, and some pans that will not function well anymore.
Their moms are going to be so mad at them.
The pans are going to function about as well as the people who were banging on them.
Well, I'm hoping that they bought them secondhand, so that they didn't actually use the real ones from their homes. But I don't know.
Can you tell us about some of the things that they were saying, some of the stuff that they were yelling at you, what they had on their signs?
Yeah, I'm remembering, it's funny you're asking me that, and now I'm remembering the speaker's question that I never really answered. So
it's okay.
I'm trying to remember who talked besides myself, because I only think about myself.
And your hair.
Yeah, and my hair. So Brett Smith talked with her daughter for a period. Carrie Smith and Beth Lowe spoke. I think, let's see, who else spoke? Marissa spoke for a little bit. Oh my gosh. B spoke. A bunch of other people. You were watching a lot. Why are you asking me this? You were.
Because
this is like a quiz.
I asked the hard hitting
like a quiz.
questions, Jeanette.
Jeanette, were you actually there?
It's a quiz.
It's like a quiz.
Pop quiz.
You're asking me who was there. God, you're killing me. Oh my gosh, Jessica, I saw a Turf Collective shirt there. And then
yes, you did. And that was by Erin. Yeah, Erin was wearing her Turf Collective shirt.
The woman took off her sweatshirt and showed her Turf Collective t-shirt. And this woman beside her goes, "Nice shirt." And she's like,
way to
"Thank you."
represent.
It was so cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're getting a
Peace in the
comment,
house.
people love the sisterhood.
Oh my
over
God, that was
Oh,
so
that was
good.
awesome.
Yeah, that was so good. I should totally do
That's
that again.
nice.
Yeah, I should actually bring my amplification.
That
So
was
we
so
were
great. Yeah.
okay. We were just talking about this, so just like put this on the next batter up situation. So what we'd really love to do here in Chicago is we want to rent one of those river boat things where they usually do the architectural tours. So we want to have a river boat. We want to rent that, and we want to be on the top of that with all these women doing a free speech event on the river.
I'm coming. I'm definitely driving there.
I'm booking my flight. What weekend is this?
Jessica, we'll drive.
It'd be
Road
so
trip.
awesome. That'd be such an awesome time, because the thing is, when they're giving those architectural cruises, if you don't want to spend the $65, you can basically just walk alongside that boat and just hear everything. I'm not going to say I've ever done that because I'm super cheap, but I have known other people who may have done that in their lives. And so you hear everything. And I think that would be awesome to do like a free speech event like that.
I love it.
We can do
I'd always
signage,
wanted to do a bus. You know the
Oh my
bus
God, we
that
should
was
totally
at
do a
standing
bus.
at Sovereign Women Speak. Remember
yeah,
the stage
yeah.
bus? I think that would be such a great way to thwart the sound pollution.
Yes.
Is to have a mobile demonstration.
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
That's what I had want. Yeah, I thought that we should be doing that. So this is a great. It's just run around them. Just run around them, and you're up above them, so they can't. They can't touch you.
So in the next parade, whenever we do the next parade, Emily Cott got us a spot in a July 4th parade. But the next parade, we're going to take my truck. I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to show you all these fabulous women, but I'm also going to show you my truck. So there's plenty of space. There's plenty of space back there. So we can fit women back there. And I don't know if you remember Atlanta, but we said, okay, we've worked, we've done a lot of things for 3 or 4 days. Let's just relax. We got in the back of one of our mom's trucks, and then we sat there for about 30 seconds.
That's how we relax.
Before we're like, does somebody have the bullhorn in the front? Can you pass that back here?
Why, yes, I always have it.
Does everybody have their signs? All right, let's go. And then it was super fun. It was super great.
Yeah, that was really fun.
we need to buy one of those buses.
And not only that, but we got a lot of engagement from the people of Atlanta.
Yeah,
like people were like cheering us on and looking at the sign and being like, yeah. And I agree.
The thing is, Jessica, you're looking at it as either or, but it's both and. So it's a truck, a bus, a boat.
Yeah.
Trains,
I mean,
planes,
I would definitely be down for a full on. I think this is great.
Yeah.
Jessica's
I think we should do.
Okay, I think we're heading to our location, if I'm not correct. Beth, we're just gonna walk over there.
Oh, where's Beth?
Yeah,
get Beth low on
We're gonna
the screen.
meander over to where we're eating.
Could you get Beth with us for a minute?
Beth? Yeah, I can get Beth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, let me just pass it. Can I pass it to her so I'm not continuously?
Okay, everyone.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Okay, that's Beth, and then you have. Do you want Beth and her voice, or do you want me to just talk for her?
No, just show us Beth. We don't want her.
Yeah, we just want to look at her beautiful hair, her stylish sunglasses.
Beth Lowe, amazing job today. Beth Lowe in the house.
Thank you so much for representing.
Thank you for handling the live stream and doing all you do. And
of course.
I want to say hi to my twin.
So Beth is. Oh,
I want to
Carrie. Here too.
I want to say hi to my twin. A shout out to you.
Where's your bun? You're not twinning today. Oh, okay. All right. It's,
of course, yes.
Carrie, it's just so much smaller than mine. It's hard to see.
Oh no. You did it. Look at Carrie's face.
I want to say thank you to you ladies for all your work. And I can't wait I heard the chat's been really lively and it'll be fun to watch.
It's been popping.
Carrie, you have so many fans. We are all so proud of you. We really, really are.
You
really
know
killed it.
how I'm not a public speaker.
Oh, we would have no idea. Yes, you are.
Well, Carrie may not be a public speaker, but she is certainly a wonderful organizer. She was like the glue that held us all together, getting all the details together, doing all the coordination between Jeanette and Jeanette was the liaison here in Chicago, being local, but Carrie really got into the weeds, and Carrie did an amazing job. It would not have happened without Carrie Brush.
She always does. She really always does.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Applause,
Carrie. Thank you, Beth.
and
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, all the women out there today. It was incredible. It really was incredible.
Absolutely. Beth,
We are
is there
so
anything-
inspired. We are like, how are we going to live up to this courage that you women showed on that street today? In the face of all that, we really are so proud. You should have seen this chat. It was completely lit up.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I didn't even know that you were going to be there on the moderating team, Jessica.
You know, I didn't know until Kat told me.
I had to, my speech was long enough. I had to cut out. I was doing a Turf Collective shout out in it. I was going to quote you as turfing on Maine,
Yeah. No, you did great here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, ladies.
Absolutely. Thank you both. Is there anything you guys want to say, you women want to say?
I want to say that without Beth Lowe and Jeanette Cooper pulling me off the ledge now and again, I probably would have quit like 3 days ago. I was done. So God bless them.
You all really pulled it together. You really did. And we only saw a glimpse of what went into it.
Earplugs are great. That's amazing. Earplugs are wonderful, and I'm really proud of the Chicago women.
They really are pretty seasoned activists. They knew not to engage. They knew how to block without, committing assault. I'm really proud of us too. I'm really proud of the women that were here today.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we really are proud of everyone. All right. I know you all want to go and eat. So if you want to do that, we'll let you go. But we would love, we love having you here, and you have the floor. So you can say anything you want, or you can, go eat. It's up to you.
Is there anyone else you want to talk to? Do you want
to we're getting a call from New Zealand.
Oh.
Okay.
You want to take that?
Yeah, we'll let you ladies go and eat because you worked up an appetite, we know, and we're gonna take calls. But we just love you both so much, and all of the women there.
Hello.
Giving us life today.
Hi, dear.
Thank you so much.
Nourish yourselves.
Bye,
and
ladies.
be well.
All right. I think
I just want to thank you.
I think we've got Rex Landy on the line. Is that true?
Oh, Rex.
My name's Rex Landy, and I'm a TERF.
Woo!
Rex Landy. All right.
Just watching you women and just so proud. You women just rock. Fuck, that was fire this morning in Chicago.
Well, we love you. We love you as well. We love your voice. We love your channel.
So there was a...
Gloves off, girl. That's all. I'll just have no more fucks to give to tranny.
Absolutely. Yep. You are getting so much love in the chat.
Well, they're worried about my language and calling them trannies when women are being raped in prison and children are having their breasts cut off.
Right?
Wild, aren't you angry? People wonder why I'm angry and ask me that, why are you so angry? And it's like, why aren't you?
Yep.
You're asleep.
Yeah, and why I don't like the language policing, because that's what's being done to us. Our language is being taken away. They're saying we can't call ourselves women or female. They're taking away every word that we use to describe ourselves and our biological reality. And as we know, language control precedes thought control. So, Rex, I'm all with you.
Yeah, whoever controls the language controls the debate. And I won't ever use their lexicon of hatred. What I think of it as, it's a lexicon of woke hatred. And you can shove it into a stink switch, mate. Because if I am a woman, I am an adult human female, and I won't let anyone call me anything else. We have to fight. They've had it their way for so long because it was brought in under the guise of anti-bullying and being kind, and I just want to piss. But they're not right. They're demands. And when a toddler demands, you just say no. So
that's where we are, and we're fighting a rearguard action and coming from behind because we have had our own kindness weaponized against us.
Let's see.
You know? And well, I'm not kind. I'm not any kind. When people say to me to be kind, I go, kind of what?
Well, and we know what be kind means. Be kind means that we need to let males into our spaces. Rex, we've also got Jeanette with us, who's trying to come in from the ground.
Yes.
I don't know if you can hear her.
I'm attempting to talk. They just can't hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Jeanette.
Rex Landy from New Zealand is on the line, Jeanette.
Sorry, I'm happy to hang up and listen to Jeanette because I'm still trying to watch the stream. And that, but yeah, I just wanted to ring in and say thank you for all your work, you women rock.
Thank you, Rex. Thank you. Thank you. Wow.
Hold the line.
Yeah, thank you too, sister. Thank you for all you do. You're amazing.
Wow, what an honor.
Rex, I love your energy. Always have. I've been seeing you around for years now.
Yeah,
God.
We can't consent to this. We cannot consent to this, and I don't.
Absolutely.
So, every fiber. Love you all. Never surrender. Mwah.
Mwah, never surrender.
Wow, awesome, Rex. Thank you so much. Words of wisdom and encouragement from the fabulous Rex Landy. Oh my God. The chat is lit up with appreciation for Rex. I don't know. Now Jeanette's gone.
Yeah.
now Jeanette's gone again. I know.
Okay.
We'll see if she comes back.
You know, one thing that really was a game changer for today in Chicago and yesterday in Austin was the fact that they had hired security with them. Because they had hired security and because they reached into their own pockets to hire that security, they were able to create a space for women to actually attempt free speech, even though the noise was drowning it out. Jeanette, we can hear you.
Okay, great. I have my AirPods in.
Go ahead, take it away.
You're now in my ears and everything. So can we talk about what you saw? Because of course I only had kind of one view from where I was. So what was your view of what things looked like?
It was really impactful and inspiring. I mean, the passion was clear. And once you guys got in that little nest, it was so great. Like,
nest. That's a really good word.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt like you were in a little nest and you were very protected. The speakers were really passionate, really loud. I could hear you very well. Actually, I thought Kelly J. Keen, it looked like she had the transmitter that was going directly to the live stream. That made all the difference.
Yeah, we couldn't tell. So I had one, but of course it kept cutting out. I mean, it worked okay for a while until it didn't. And so, yeah, I'm glad that, you could hear some of that going on. The amplification sound worked, well enough for the situation. I mean, you can't go over kind of somebody banging on pots and pans behind you and these bullhorn siren things. But in general, not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I also love that there were some women there creating a barrier between the speakers and the TRAs. I saw some awesome butches holding the line. And we had our thought criminal. I love that she had that on. I heard her say she was a filmmaker. I'm like, oh my God, I need to connect with her.
Jay. Her name is Jay. Yeah.
Okay, connect me with her later on. But
okay, we'll do.
Yeah, what can you tell us about, the women that stepped up to create a barrier, and did they plan this ahead of time? How did you do this?
No, I think the way that we had it set up, we had a bunch of women kind of in the background where a speaker would be kind of facing outward. And so when I thought, okay, we have to protect actually the space around because they're invading from the back, from that other side, from the front, and just crowding in that space. So I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have to circle up. So some of you women who are back here doubled up, we're going to create a circle. So I need, some of you to move over this way, and kind of went around the circle and said, this is what we're going to do. So let's just please, I need you to go over here. I need you to go over here. And take your sign with you, and then we're going to circle up really, really close and make it. I love that word, Amy. Nest. Make this nest, and then kind of expand it outward. So I think it's helpful. I think women want to know how to be helpful. So if you tell them, hey, can you do this? Could you move over there? Take your sign with you. Stand here. Move back. Just to create a sense of safety for women, I think is super helpful. I will say I'm very thankful. My friend, who's been 20 years on the Chicago Police Department, we're in a PhD program together at DePaul University. So
oh right, you're smart.
Yeah, we've been friends for quite a while now, and so I called him and asked him if off-duty officers take kind of private security jobs on the side, and so he helped coordinate all of that, which I very much appreciate. And then, of course, he then helped liaison with the police there. They kind of all know each other after decades working together, so it was quite nice to have them there. And then, of course, like I said, the bicycle police, they created a barrier, and they were all very nice to us, right? What I liked is that they actually protected everybody's ability to do what was allowed. So even if somebody's banging a pot and pan in my ear, they didn't say, okay, you can't do that, but she can do this. They said, okay, everybody can do anything as long as you're not pushing and shoving each other. So as obnoxious as it is, that means that, if women are on the other side, I don't like somebody to play sides. I just want to be able to follow the law and for everybody to have their spaces. So we just had to do better strategy on how we claim that space. Because it isn't fair to silence really anyone in any way. So we figured out a way to still claim our space.
Yeah, and it's us that are being silenced. We've never tried to silence anyone. In fact, we couldn't silence them if we want to at this point. The propaganda is everywhere, even if they're not.
Really, the issue is we're women, and so we spend, as you well know, most of our time in the kitchen. I can't afford to damage the pots and pans that I need to provide for all the men in my life. I don't know what you're even talking about. I don't know what kind of woman you are.
I own one pan, Jeanette. One.
That's probably
Jeanette, you don't cook. Stop.
I don't actually.
I know.
Kelly J. Keene was at my house today, and she's like, oh, I said, would you like water or something? And she said, oh, could we have a cup of tea? I'm like, yeah, of course. I've got water and tea. Yes, right? And then I boil the whole thing. I get it all ready. And she's like, do you have cream?
Oh, they do cream. That's right.
I don't have milk in my home. That sounds like a basic thing. Why would I have that?
Milk in my
I could have put like a half a stick of butter in there.
Jeanette, tell us more about your experience meeting Kelly J, how it's been, just your experience with the women on the ground today, Beth, Carrie, everybody coming together.
Well, it's nice. I mean, we had quite a, we had quite, I was interested in having kind of a positive, fun space. And I think we kept that vibe. I mean, we didn't have an angry vibe, I feel like. We just kind of kept it, smiles. We weren't moved or upset. We didn't get triggered by anything because I think it was pretty clear that we were holding the space. So we didn't really have tons to worry about in terms of our safety. I think we could see relatively that we were going to claim the space. It was just going to be a matter of time. I think I was nice to see a few women, one of whom I've known for a little bit of time, that she finally spoke publicly, and that was really awesome. I haven't seen her again, but I'm gonna see her in just a minute here when we eat, and I just want to give her a hug and say thank you. And she shared what she was going to say beforehand. And yeah, it was really powerful. It's just really powerful to stand in front of people. And you could see women, physically kind of shaking and getting nervous and all of that. And once you do that a few times, you like your shaking gets a little bit less. And you feel a little bit more confident. And it just takes that first time of going in front of people and talking and knowing that, you're kind of surrounded by people who are who are there for you and who are talking, you know, with you, and they are going to hold that space for your voice to be heard. So it was a really nice opportunity today, and like I said, it was quite a positive environment. It felt like,
that's what we like.
the
That's
women
what we
had
want.
such a sense of confidence that there was no reason to get emotional about anything, actually.
Yeah.
Because we held it. We had it. We
Yeah.
weren't fighting anything.
Yeah, you held the line very well. It was really nice, and everyone did seem very calm. I mean, it seemed like a really happy atmosphere, and everyone was very supportive of each other. And
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, the women didn't seem at all intimidated, which I was so grateful. They read slightly with maybe perhaps annoyance, if that.
Yeah, for
Everybody
sure,
was really
annoyance.
calm and was really just rooted in their power and just there to hold their event, and they would not be moved. I was really proud of you, Jeanette. Please go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it was nice. It was nice. I think that's true. I don't know what creates that. Like, I don't know how that comes
Sisterhood,
together and
baby.
I don't know whether it's like the first person who speaks sets the tone or something like that. Kelly, Jay, and I spoke briefly in the car, or you know, on the way over, and I said, you know, this is what I would like. This is what I would like women to bring. You know, I want them to bring love and light to this space. I want them to bring kind of positive energy and leave all of the rest of the stuff at home. But
That's
this
very
is the time
important when you're going to any kind of demonstration. You got to leave everything else at home. Anything else that's affecting you, you need to turn that off, and you need to see through these opposition people. See them for the cowards that they are.
Yeah, it's an opportunity. We don't get this opportunity many times to be together in that space, in sisterhood with females. It's such an opportunity, and people are coming from hours and hours away to the center hub of Chicago in the Midwest, and it's something that we don't always have. So we really have to take advantage of that and really, you know, kind of fill up our cups and not let kind of people outside of us suck out all of that from us.
That's right. I think women are fed up. Women are just fed up. We're sick of this shit. We're sick of it. And we're not going to just sit back and let them to continue to steamroll over us, literally stealing women's children from them. Jeanette, do you want to speak more about your experience or your work with PEC? I don't want to put you on the spot. I know you're about to go.
No, it's fine. Yeah. I mean, I think I will talk, you know, just for a moment about my own personal experience, my own daughter and our other daughters who are out in the world kind of trying to figure out how to be female without taking on and sucking in all of the negative stuff that is pushed at us. So right now, I think my daughter's not able to do that. It's a lot of social pressure, and it's a lot of gaslighting in general, and it's a lot of just trying to survive. So the more that we create spaces for our girls and our young women to feel like they have somebody backing them up, and somebody in those moments that we have when we feel unstable, somebody to steady us, it's more likely that we will have sisters come back to us, because all of those women, and I'll do my speech again, hopefully that, you know, online, that all of those women are our sisters, no matter how many body parts have been removed from them.
That's right, Jeanette.
Know how deep their voices are, or how much hair they have on their faces. They're our sisters, and we have a home for them. So I think it's just a matter of time before they come home, and we simply have to keep that spot warm, because it will happen. And we have to be in that space of welcoming in order for them to feel like they can come.
I completely agree with you. And I know that it's true because, you know, Jeanette and I talk all the time, and a lot of what's gone on with her daughter's experience really is very similar to some of the things that I personally experienced in my life. And I relate a lot to where I see her daughter being exploited by this big LGBT rainbow machine, the same machine that was exploiting me. And I could not have been further down the rabbit hole of trans rights activism. Seriously, like the people that I was rolling with are on Netflix and on Hulu, like promoting this stuff to children right now. So you couldn't have been further than I was. And now look at where I am. I'm right here talking to Jeanette Cooper, talking to Amy Sousa, talking to Jessica Gonzalez, working together. And that's part of what why I'm trying to hold space for the women that I know are coming, because they're gonna see,
right.
they're gonna eventually see it's going to affect them, and they're gonna be looking and searching, what do I do, where do I go, just like I was searching.
Right. What is
Then
the
they're gonna find
alternative?
us.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about that in the parent group that, I help kind of moderate and admin, that, removing anything means that you have to have some sort of substitution, because the child or the young person is gaining something from whatever they're using in this unhealthy way, in this unhealthy coping mechanism that they're using. We have to provide some alternative. And so we're responsible, I'm responsible, and I think all of us sisters are responsible for making sure that we have that space. If we don't have it, some sister will be running around and that door will be locked, and I'm just not willing to lock that door. I think there has to be a space that she can walk into. That doesn't mean that, the woman who is not is kind of still struggling with all kinds of issues has free reign over my life and in my space. That's not true. But there's a vestibule that we can sit in together and kind of orient ourselves and gain some stability. So it's not an either or kind of trust situation, where any woman has access to any space that you have, but you have to hold something simply because she's female and she's living in this patriarchy that we are all living in, because of our own reproductive selves. So we have to hold that for all of the women. And maybe, like I said in my speech in Madison, it may not be me at this moment for some people, but it has to be some woman. Every woman must have that. They deserve that. We deserve that. And maybe I'm not the woman to hold space for every woman, but somebody is.
Yeah, and I think it's so important that we have to offer something. Part of our activism is the fight. Part of it is fighting, but we can't just dismantle this ideology with its values of dissociation and objectification. We also have to offer something, and I love that you're saying that, Jeanette, because it is giving them something. It's giving them that external validation. It's giving them that feeling of community, and that is why we have to be right there, ready to offer. And I think what we have to offer is much deeper. It was much more real. That external validation seeking, it can only get you so far, because frankly, it's based on an image. It's literally based on how you image yourself in some sort of an identity, externalized identity concept. And what we are offering is much deeper and much more grounded. We are offering the intimacy and connection of true community. We're offering that intimacy and connection of being able to listen to your inner voice, trust your body and senses, and that's actual. You cannot really have true community when you are in a constant state of lying to yourself and lying to each other. That you can't really connect in a deep way on that level. And I do think that what so many are trying to do, I know, Jeanette, what you're doing with Partners for Equal Care, Jessica, what you're doing with Turf Collective, and hopefully what we're doing right here in this chat with these live streams is creating a community in which we can be in our own truth together, where we can offer each other actual connection with one another, not just based on affirming each other's identity, but based on the deeper values that we have together.
And they are really trying to break us down You know, they're trying to literally break us apart into pieces by putting all of these objectifying, dehumanizing, machinifying words onto our body, turning us into parts, taking away our words, our language, the things that we do, everything that makes us uniquely female. They are trying to break that down. And, you know, they're breaking down. And just as they're working to do that, we are fighting back and pushing back just as hard. And we are going to push back harder, because we aren't going to take this. And the more they clamp down on us, the more we say no. And the more women come to the table and say, I won't take this anymore. They are literally stealing women's children, and we won't allow this to continue.
No, because that
go.
is it. I mean, you're talking about children. Even if the child is 15 years old and it seems like this girl is choosing this, she's not choosing that. That's not what's going on. I mean, we know so many, 13-year-old girls who'd be like, I chose to, have sex with that 28-year-old man. No, you did not.
No way.
That's not what happened.
Coaching and grooming. That's all this is. Coaching and grooming.
No, that's complete coercion. So the idea that I have a choice, Kelly J and I were talking about this in the car, because I said, someone will look at me and they'll be like, Jeanette's anti-makeup, anti-shaving, anti-blah, blah, blah. I said, no, hold on a second. I think women should have choices. This is my choice. So women who choose to wear, have fancy nails like my daughter, and beautiful makeup, and spend an hour on their hair, like, I don't know, maybe Alex Aaron does that. It looks so amazing. It's actually probably just a 5-minute thing. She probably wakes up like that, like they do in movies.
Well, our choices are not made in a vacuum,
Right, they're not made in a vacuum.
Choices are marketed to us through a machine that is attempting to program and indoctrinate us into a way of thinking and a way of being. So we have to be gently judgmental of one another's choices.
Yeah, that's the thing
not to the point of vilification, but to observe to one another that these choices are not value neutral when they are a participation in a system of objectification. Choices are not really neutral; they're all political.
They are, and when you take some self-reflection time and then you come out the other side and go, I really do want to paint my nails. Yeah, that's cool. What's wrong with that? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, deciding what you do to your own body is your own choice. But when it comes to another human being deciding what they do with your body, we're talking about something totally different. So yes, it's my choice to, put on makeup or shave my legs or do all that stuff. That's a woman's choice. But to say that it's a woman's choice when you have a power dynamic that involves money and sex, we're not talking about choice anymore. That's not what's happening.
Now, Jeanette, let's talk about some of the choices that parents and educators and people that work with children. Let's talk about some of the choices that they should be making, because we all see the choices that are being made that shouldn't be made. Now, what are some things that that people should know about what can be done?
Yeah, so what we see is, at least in my parent group, when parents feel like they don't have any social supports around them to kind of say, hey, this is my child's name, I gave them at birth, and not using their birth name is not going to save their life, and using their birth name will not kill them. When the parents have enough social supports around them to do what is instinctually what their body and brain is telling them, this is the right thing and this is a healthy thing for children, when they have enough kind of social supports around them to make that good choice, then they're more likely to make it. We do see that parents who are, affirming their children, who are kind of feathers in the wind of all of this, they don't have that, right? They're completely in a whole different environment, and they don't have people who are helping them, who are supporting them, who are saying, okay, listen to your feeling here a second, and you can cope with this. I mean, the people who are affirming their children, it's not that their children cannot cope. with what's going on in their adolescent and young adult life. Their children cannot. That's why they're choosing, whether it's subconscious or not, they're choosing a trans identity to try to cope. But the parents who are affirming, they're the ones that cannot cope with just being present with their children who are in distress. And that's what we need. I mean, you can sit with another person and say, I'm sorry that you're struggling at this moment. I'm going to stay here with you until this kind of passes. And I'm going to sustain you during that time. I'm not going to fix your problems for you because that's not going to help. I can't build muscle in your legs for you. You're going to have to do that yourself, but I'm going to stay present with you. And the only way that that's possible is if that parent has people around her or him to be able to support. Because we're all a series of concentric circles supporting each other. So that's why we have to connect more with people who are disagreeing with us, because we might be their only lifeline to something that gives them the strength to actually say, I actually did have doubts and I didn't know what to do, and you were the only one that said anything to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeanette, I know that you are trying to eat and possibly do other things, and I just want to give you the floor. If there's anything that you want to tell women out there to encourage them to keep going, to come out, I just feel like you're really good at that.
Well, it's interesting when people have concerns about, safety and security or something like that. Many things, I know this is so easy to say, are in your own mind.
Yes.
Your fear is in your own mind. So when you establish a space and you decide that I'm not scared of anything, that whatever happens, that I'm going to survive it, and these women around me are going to, help me, they're going to support me. That kind of fear and all that anxiety kind of just, it falls away when you realize that you have that. And I have little patience more recently for women who are even afraid to just literally show up. Showing up is something. A literal body standing there. Not all the women who were there today certainly spoke, but what they did is they held space, physically held space, and that was so necessary. It wouldn't have been possible to do that event without that. And the more physical people we have, it shows something. And so just showing up is something. And we don't know, like the women, I'm sure I'm going to meet women, today here eating that I've never met before. And like, what a blessing. Like, how amazing. I don't know what's going to happen, but in my mind, I know that whatever happens is going to be positive. We're going to create something good out of this. We're going to plan for the future. We're going to give each other hope for what is to come, because we're coming together, and there is something miraculous and miraculously good that happens when we come together. So it is so necessary that we physically connect as human beings in space. We lost that opportunity for such a long time, and it's so critically important for us to take a little bit of money, a little bit of time, and to decide, I am going to meet up with other people. It fills up your cup like so many times over.
That's right.
It really sustains people for the next event.
And it really was not that long ago when none of us even knew each other.
Yeah. It was only
we had not met any of us.
I can't even believe how it's such a short time, actually. Really. Yeah.
And now, we've all done so much together.
We've been all over the country together.
Yeah.
We've known each other all like a year and change, and I've been all across the country with you women.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Gotta grab a couple buildings and go.
Fuck it, we're going. Fuck it. Where's your bullhorn? Fuck it.
Yeah. I said to somebody at a dinner the other night, I said, for people who are scared, they're scared to lose their jobs. They'll get another one. There are other jobs. You're scared to lose your friends. You will find other ones. I am your first one. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And children grow up. So your child may be lost at this moment, but
Guess
she
who
will
doesn't
grow
want
up.
kids to grow up? We know who doesn't want children to grow up. And we know that they are connected to the pushing of all of this. medicalization, sexualization of children, pushing them towards so-called transition. Yeah, and we have Alex, the gender mapper, in the
Alex
house.
is in the
Oh my
comments.
God.
All the way
here.
from
My God.
Israel.
Yeah, she's here. She
Alex.
heard you talking about her hair.
I know. I'm sure she does.
Alex, she's
Always
gonna
show up
be
when we
obsessed.
talk about the hair.
It's so funny because we talk about Alex's hair even in Partners for Ethical Care, and it's such a funny joke in a way, because her work is so instrumental to the entire movement that we're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost it's only possible to make kind of a joke about how absolutely phenomenal her hair is, because you cannot deny that the work of Gender Mapper is historical. It's impossible to deny that work because people are attacking it, and they're doing that because they see the documentation that she's doing and they know that will go down in history. They're certain of it, and they would not come so hard if they didn't know that. I mean, that's what happened in Chicago today. The only reason that people show up to kind of counter protest or try to drown us out is because we're saying important things.
That's right.
That's the only reason they're there.
They are complete and utter frauds. The men who oppose us, the men who support the so-called transgendering of children, the medicalization of children, the sexualization of children, they are frauds. They are liars. They are in the wrong. Okay. They pretend to be about justice, and they're standing up and they're fighting back. And I know they have appropriated every little bit of language from organizing and activist movements that have gone on, that have preceded this. They have co-opted everything. And in reality, they are nothing but standing up for big pharma. They are shills for the medical industrial complex. They are shills for the entire campaign of disembodiment, for transhumanism, for this idea that we are something separate from our bodies, that children are possibly born in the wrong body. No, they're not. This is about all about pushing for us to accept greater changes with technology that affect our bodies and our biology. This is about pushing us to accept a biopharma, medical, security, militarized police state. So if you're listening and you think that you oppose us and that you're right and we're wrong, I'm sorry, but you need to do your research. And you know what? People like that don't even want to do research. You know that you people don't care about the truth. You only care about getting your way and forcing yourself on others, on putting women down and stealing children. And we won't tolerate it.
It's odd because the greater power is actually, coming along to the real civil rights movement, right? That's the real power. If you stop struggling against what is absolutely wrong and false and harmful to all kinds of people, what peace you have, actually. I mean, that's the sense that I have and I had today, which is it's quite a peaceful feeling to know that there are so many people.
We have a call. Hold on.
Yeah.
That we're all right.
Yeah, we're all right. So
hello, you're live with us on this live stream. You want to say your name?
Hi. Oh my God, I'm alive.
Yeah, you're live. Yeah. You're on with Jeanette and Amy and Kay, Yang, and Jessica.
Hi, Amy. You were amazing. You were amazing with that trans activist who came after.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Oh my God. No, you were amazing, and I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
I mean,
thank you so much.
And I am a woman. I am from New Orleans. And all of this crap is like really taking over, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you can imagine a world which is a very liberal city in a very red state, right? I mean, I am voting Republican probably for the first time in my entire life, and that hurts me.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to vote Republican. I don't think any woman wants to vote Republican, but we are forced to.
Yeah.
We are forced to vote in favor of women. So whatever that means, I
Yeah.
don't think, I'm not willing to take somebody's label for me. So
You know,
I am voting for women.
Again, this goes beyond the left-right politics. This is something being pushed on an international and on a global level. So in addition to taking whatever measures you want to, whether it's with local politics or national politics, in addition to doing those things, we need to keep on doing things like this, because we know that this is what's going to actually work, is getting all of the people everywhere activated against this and fighting back against this system.
Exactly.
Yeah. Caller, you're in New Orleans. Can you?
You're speaking truth. I mean, where we liberal women, I'm a lesbian, I'm being forced to vote for a freaking Republican. I don't want to vote for Republicans. I don't like them. I'm pro-choice. But I also know what a woman is.
Mm-hmm.
Sister, do you know other people in Louisiana? Do you have other sisters there in Louisiana who you're connected with?
I don't. I'm not.
Oh, can you please share with Amy, and Amy or Pat will take down your email or send it somehow.
Yeah, go.
You can send it also to support@partnersforethicalcare.com.
Yeah.
One of my best friends is in Louisiana, and we have quite a few sisters there. So we want to be able to connect you with them.
Please do. Please
yeah,
connect
and you
me.
can actually understand their accent, so that would actually be helpful.
Yes, I would appreciate that, because I mean, I know that many of our officials are speaking out against it and are working against it and are making bills to keep women's sports, sacred. They are doing those things because we are in a red state,
Right.
And again, it ticks me off. It ticks me off. It makes me so angry that it's Republicans that understand biological sex when the Democrats do not.
Well, it's women who understand it and are willing to say it. So
women from men, where Democrats do not. It's just, are you serious? Are you crazy? You are working against women's rights. You are working against women's rights. And you want us to support you? And you think we're going to do that?
I think
we are going to do that. No, we are not.
Right. I think it's helpful to look at not so much at the party affiliation, not so much at the individual person, but the particular piece of legislation or the particular item that you want to get done, because that is the thing that will outlast any man who sits in office, any woman who sits in office. That piece of writing is the thing that will outlast. So that is the stuff that we need to concentrate on, and that's where we put some of our time, at least at Partners for Ethical Care, on trying to get legislation written down, because I cannot rely on somebody who just comes into office for a little bit and leaves.
Request, as you will.
I'm sorry.
I said the individual bills, the individual acts, the individual things they try to get passed. Those are the things we need to pass to focus on.
Yeah, and we have a sister in Louisiana who would love to work with you. Two sisters actually who would love to work with you on things like that. We could use your voice next time we're there.
So yeah,
I would love to connect with her.
Yes.
If you,
I would love to connect with other women in Louisiana, in New Orleans. We need to fight against this in the city. I understand our governor, is not on our side, but the legislators are.
Yeah.
Let's make that happen. So please, again, send an email to support at Partners for Ethical Care, and I'll support at partnersforethicalcare.com, and then I'll get you connected to some other women in Louisiana. We're going to make great things happen there.
All right. Thank you so much, caller. And we'll hear from you again. And if you do send that email to Jeanette, and if you can't, just send me a DM on Twitter or find me on one of my socials, and I will make sure that I get you connected to her. Thank you so much for calling in today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Amy, I'm going to take off because I think everybody went inside.
I think we're going to go,
Jeanette.
I'm going to end up sitting on somebody's lap, and I just hope,
go get some food, nourish yourself.
I will. Right. Okay, thank you again. I really appreciate all of the work that all of you have done today, and I'll see you soon.
We'll be talking to you soon, sister. Thank you so much for everything.
Today, Jeanette. You are brilliant and fantastic.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye. All right, sisters. And I think we're going to start wrapping it up here. We've been with you over 3.5 hours. We really, really appreciate, friend. I know you're calling, caller, but I'm going to not take it, unfortunately. I think I'm going to let us go.
And let's just let everybody know that once these speakers corners are over, we are going to continue to create space to take calls and platform your voices. So make sure you're subscribed here to the channel. Make sure you go to stopfemaleerasure.com, put your contact in there. You'll get notified about what we're working on next and find out how you can connect with women. Please, we've got to keep this going. Not right this moment. Right now, we do all have to go, but we're going to keep the momentum going from Kelly J's tour, from all of this work. And it's going to be amazing and beautiful. And who knows what's going to come from all of this? Really incredible things. We know that. One last reminder to all of you, we are still fundraising for security, and we are fundraising for equipment for New York City, equipment to bring to Philadelphia. And if you can, just please do what you can to donate. Right now, I'm taking out of my own pocket. I'm not a woman of means, but it's really important that our women be protected. And if I'm inviting women to come to New York City, knowing about the type of violence that's occurred in some of the other cities, I've got to have security. So
I'm sorry, caller, because I'm just so tired, and we're gonna wrap it up. But we're gonna I will call you first next time. I promise we'll get all your calls, and I'm sorry that we're not gonna take it in this moment. I really want to thank Jessica Gonzalez for being here with us in the chat today. I thank you for your work at Turf Collective. I know you have some more talking to do tonight. So drink some water and
yeah.
Throat.
I'll be fine. It's not like I'm on radio every day like you guys.
Jessica, if women want to get involved with Turf Collective, and start coming to some of your calls, what do they need to do?
They should get in touch with us at our search for Turf Collective on Facebook. That will lead you to the public feeder group. There are some admissions questions there. You can indicate right in the questions that you learned about us through this live chat, and that will help Heather Scalzi get flagged to your presence there. But she's going to make a determination whether you get into that one. And if you know some of us, then you can get into our core group. For security reasons, we keep it pretty tight, and I think the women that do make it into that core group do appreciate that, so that's how we're going to keep doing it. But if you are patient, certainly we would love to have you.
Thank you so much, Jessica Gonzalez, Turf Collective, Amy Sousa, the known heretic, myself, Kay Yang, the Deprogrammer. Thank you, Athene Raphael, for your donation. All the women for donating, all the women in the chat. Also, Connie, I'm going to give you a better shout out next time. Thank you all. You're amazing. We love you, and we're out of here.
We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Turfs up.